This is a Headgum podcast.
Wags, when I was a little boy, I'd wake up every morning, Saturday morning. I'd watch some cartoons. And you know what I do? I go downstairs and I get myself a big bowl of sugary cereal. And you know what? I can't do that anymore as an adult.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's not fun like it used to be because you know what? I have boring protein shakes and supplements and a bowl of grain instead. That's not fun.
That's not fun. Well, you know what is fun? Magic Spoon has reinvented your favorite childhood cereals to taste great, but each serving contains 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 net grams of carbs per serving. Note, Honey Nut flavor contains 1 gram of sugar. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free way to relive those moments watching your favorite cartoons. Plus, it's 140 calories a serving.
Wow, Wags. Well, guess what? There's more fun to be had because now Magic Spoon has treats, Wags. Magic treats. That's right. Magic Spoon has magic treats. I just got a box of them, and they're delicious.
Magic Spoon took the magic in their cereal and transformed it into an on-the-go snack with brand new treats. You can have a totally delicious high-protein cereal bar for breakfast, dessert, and any time in between. They're just like the marshmallow treats you had as a kid, but with only 1 gram of sugar and 1 to 2 grams of net carbs. And they're packed with 11 grams of protein per bar. The treats come in 2 flavors, marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. Whether you like sticking to the classics or trying something new, there's a flavor you will love.
Mommy, I want a Magic Spoon treat. That was me just last week to my mom.
How'd she respond?
Sure thing, Mikey. She gave me a treat, and I ate it, and I watched cartoons. Not a lot has changed for me in 40 years.
I mean, I don't know how you get a stronger personal endorsement than that, Mitch. Head to magicspoon.com/doughboys to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try the magic for yourself. And don't forget to add their brand new marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter treats. Be sure to use our promo code Doughboys at checkout to save $5 off your order.
And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked.
Remember, get your next delicious bowl of cereal at magicspoon.com/doughboys and use the code Doughboys to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
And don't forget those treats.
In the city of fallen angels, where dreams turn to nightmares daily, a once paltry poultry restaurant into chicken empire grew. Up in the hellish valley, scrambled brains thought thoughts of murder. Families slaughtered whole like chickens, cleaving fathers' dreams in 2. Garlic sauce could ward off Dracula, but not halt a palace coup. Quoth the chicken, Zankou. This week on Doughboys, we uncover a grisly taboo in Shockdoughbooerdeath 2023, a scarifying month of frights and bites, with the murders, mostly birds, of Zankou Chicken.
Watching Family Guy. Stewie.
Welcome to Doughboys, the podcast about rattling chain restaurants. I'm the murder boy, Nick Weiger. Along with my co-ghost, the crumbs are coming from inside the mouth, the spoon wolf man, Mike Mitchell.
Howdy ho.
Wow.
I would like to urge everyone who's listening to this right now to go wherever in the show notes or whatever and click on an image of what's currently happening and know and understand that I was not told that people would be wearing costumes.
It's true.
Nor was I told this would be a themed, spooky episode.
If you're watching the YouTube, you see it right now.
Yeah.
But if not...
Is this my camera?
Weiger's in his most natural element.
That's right.
And I look like the Batman copycat guys from, is it Dark Knight?
From Dark Knight, yeah.
The guy that he has to be like, stop doing what you're doing.
Right.
I look like the big fat fools that
Yeah.
try to like
They
help.
put on a bunch of like hockey pads and
Exactly.
try and pretend
yeah.
they're
Yes.
I'm
Batman.
not wearing hockey pads. You're dressed as Your costume is Batman. I'm costumed as the Heath Ledger Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like to think of the reality where you, Mike Mitchell, are Bruce Wayne, and this is your disguise. Because
What would it take?
immediately we know who you are.
What would it take for this to tip into reality? Like, I feel like, Wags, if you just wore this costume
Yeah.
for 5 hours, you would become the Joker.
I'd be this guy. I'd become Joker
I think
fine.
it would be. I just think it's a matter of time
Yeah.
spent living inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
You seem very susceptible to this.
I didn't even know it was costume day.
I did offer Wags $500 to ride the bus home like this.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm flush with cash because I never had to pay Mitch the 10 grand for getting a charted song.
It's
Wow.
still that deal went
Get his
forever,
ass.
just so you know. So I
That's forever in perpetuity?
Yeah.
Okay.
An open-ended bet.
it's
You know
not
what? I'll accept that. I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
Weiger came into the room with a lot of energy, and it was frightening when you came into we were in the lunchroom at
Yeah.
Headgum here.
Yeah,
And you
the
walked
Headgum
in-
Studios has a cafeteria. I got my tray. The Headgum lunch lady.
Yeah, she's a ball breaker.
Oh
but
yeah,
makes a mean casserole. We
And
so
of course
like,
a model.
yeah.
Working here at Headgum.
Headgum
course,
hunks
yeah.
and honeys. Get your calendar now.
This mask is already causing problems. I mean, it's not fit for my face or my head.
Can I also say, so we have there's an adjacent thing that's in construction. There's another room and the door was closed, and that's where I was changing earlier. And I accidentally left my phone in there. So just before we recorded, I went in, the door was closed. I opened the door and went in to retrieve my phone. I didn't realize Anya from Headgum was working in there on her laptop with
my
her headphones.
God.
So the Joker walks in.
Oh my God.
I would say even scarier, the Weiger Joker walks in. Like perhaps the scariest iteration of the Joker is not Heath Ledger, it's not Joaquin Phoenix, it's Weiger Joker.
She probably had in her.
Why so serious, buddy?
She probably had in her text like, "I love you, Mom. Goodbye." Ready to send. Until you came in.
This moment has finally come. Weiger has found a Joker costume. Game over. You'll read about it in tomorrow's newspaper.
Funny thing is that he had a professional Joker costume that you sold.
Yeah, I do. I had like well, I didn't sell it, but like I got rid of all the pieces because back in the Dark Knight days, I was doing, and I still had this kind of length hair back then. I was doing Joker bits, so I had like pretty nice cosplay.
You got rid of that
together
costume.
and Amelia
Gave
got
it
it.
to his friend in Colorado. You said.
Jesus Christ!
Oof. What did he do with it? Out of curiosity. Can't
I
imagine.
texted that to Weiger too. I probably shouldn't have repeated it. I gotta put,
Repeat jokes are always the best, like my $500 joke.
yeah. It's good.
Listen, it's got a second life. People need to hear it.
And you know what? Both of us did the honorable thing of saying that we made this joke.
Absolutely.
before.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's a very improviser's caveat.
right.
Only an improviser is like, I feel like I'm cheating by repeating the joke that I already said to 3 people. I'm saying it now to the whole audience, but I got to let them know I'm cheating.
Yes.
No, if you ever worked on any sort of panel show thing, which I've done, like everything is scripted. Like basically all these off the cuff like riffs. So much of
tearing-
stuff is just like scripted ahead of time. But like
Tearing away, making people understand how the Hollywood panel show truths.
exactly
Everything's scripted.
Yeah. But not absolutely everything. Someone will say something funny off the cuff, but a lot of the stuff that like seems like it's off the top of someone's head is crafted backstage. And like, yeah, I think a lot of people who do that don't really feel any shame about it because it's just a performance.
That's right. Weiger's skill is creating things that seem like in the moment discoveries. Easy conversational jokes in the moment.
Hi,
This is a nightmare.
Doughies. Spooky, right? Have a great Clocktober. I'm guessing that's the name this month. What's scarier than the passage of time? All the best from Panama. Saludos, Alvaro M.
Wow.
Our buddy from Panama, Alvaro.
Yeah.
Roastspoonman@gmail.com.
This is I had to use duct tape to get this around my neck. And
Yeah.
and it's going into my neck
Oh,
now.
the
my
kid's
God.
Batman costume doesn't fit.
you
the,
have
the giant that is Mike Mitchell. Your head is like just trying to break that mask. Like
I can't believe I
truly.
got it around I honestly can't believe the strap fit.
You're gonna have. I said this already as well. You're gonna have a terrible rash from that mask.
100%, and probably a splitting headache in a couple hours, but it's worth it.
And duct tape. I would love it if you guys just went outside right here, outside the Headgum studios, and just started fighting each other.
I want to say I said howdy ho in the Batman voice, but I want to say howdy ho.
There you go.
Spooky.
And podcast bad. That's what I did last
That's really
time.
good.
I want to add a thing each time.
Okay, do you have another one?
No.
Let's see.
How's that?
A little J.S. Bach?
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, yeah, these are Bach's famous organ
I
compositions.
thought it was Dracula himself who
It
wrote
was like
that.
church music, and it got reappropriated into being
Was it
like
really?
haunted, scary stuff. Yeah, he's a very deeply religious man.
How do you know all of that?
I
Off
don't
the
know.
top
I
of your
studied
head?
some. I just studied some Baroque music back in the day. Took AP music theory.
You know what's another good one? You'll know this one.
Mhm.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
I can't get it from the way you're
on
on
more step.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, you did a Mario Underground.
Huh.
But this is like
That's-
Bowser's Castle.
No, that's the
Wait,
haunted.
Keep going. I don't know
Haunted
it yet.
Mansion. Yes, it's Haunted Mansion.
Dun,
Yes,
dun,
yes, yes.
dun, 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 dun. You
No,
want-
yeah, this is the Ghost Houses.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Of Mario.
Of Mario, yeah.
Mario.
Super Mario World. they
Never
make the
played a
original.
Mario.
Never
That's
played a
fascinating.
Mario?
Never
fascinating.
played a Mario.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Really?
Mario Wonder comes out this month.
Because you play video games. You like
Medium.
you like a big open world game.
I only started playing video games as an adult.
Got it.
So I didn't have a childhood spent playing all the games.
This is
Did
like
you
Will
like
Hines,
Mario?
similarly. Will
Yes.
Hines got into video games as an adult.
So really it was, and I vividly remember it, I was in Los Angeles for pilot season, staying in a friend's house, and he had whatever the system was and the game BioShock,
Okay.
which I was like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
this? This is
Yeah, that's
incredible.
fun,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had that experience that people had in their teenage years where I stayed up until like 5 o'clock in the morning playing the game, went back to New York after pilot season was done, bought a game system and that game, played it to completion, and then didn't play another video game for years. And that's my relationship with the video games. I become obsessed with something like Fallout 4
Right, sure.
or Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
I play it for a while, and then I fully abandon video games forever.
What's
And
the last thing you played?
I just played the Star Wars
Oh yeah.
Jedi Survivor is it the most recent
is
one?
that the second one?
Yeah.
The second one of those.
I
Yes.
think that's it.
Which was a blast.
Yeah, sure.
And I started this new game, Starfield,
oh, yeah, Starfield.
Starfield,
I know Starfield.
which is too open for me. I find the games where you are able to pick up stuff.
yeah.
All I do is pick up stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I don't fight anybody. All I do is make sure I got every pen, beaker, and microscope from every room in a completist fashion, and it is tremendously wasting time.
You're just harvesting resources.
And none of
everywhere.
it's meaningful.
Yeah.
None of it's sellable. None of it's usable. It's just busy work.
It's just
I'm-
junk.
I'm cleaning up.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning up a wasteland.
You should try like a power wash simulator or like a farming sim
No,
and
you
see if those
shouldn't.
see if
That
those
sounds great.
Because I mean that's the thing. There are games now where they're just soothing games where you just clean things.
I'd love to just tidy up a little.
Yeah.
You should try Mario. Mario Wonder
Which
comes out.
Mario?
Honestly,
If you could suggest one Mario.
I think you should play. Is Mario Odyssey too big of a world?
Well,
you
this
think?
is the thing, but these are similar to the 3D open world games you're playing
Mm-hmm.
already. So you would mechanically you would understand how a Mario Odyssey works, and that's a great game. I would
Odyssey
maybe
is
start
so
with Odyssey.
Good.
Yeah.
Odyssey
All right.
is so good.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm in.
It's so good.
But do you have a Switch?
I do.
Wow, well, there you go.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you
why
got-
not?
you-
Treat
you-
yourself.
I played a little bit of the first, the Breath of the Wild Zelda.
Yes.
That's why I got a Switch.
There you go.
Okay.
Was because people were talking about that game, and I was like, all right, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Played it a bunch, and then abandoned it.
Mario is more contained. It's big still.
Yeah.
Similarly, it's probably the biggest Mario game, right? I would say it's got to be.
I wonder if it's the longest Mario
I
game.
would like it if you guys just did Batman and the Joker review Mario review Mario games.
Overall, Mario Wonder gets 3.5 mushrooms. Mitch?
Only 3.5. You were giving it 5
It's gonna be
mushrooms.
5 mushrooms, yeah.
Emma, let's hit him with the drop.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
They're creepy and they're
Kooky.
mysterious and
Spooky.
they're all together.
Goopy.
The Doughboys podcast. Meet. Sweet treat.
Wow.
Well crafted.
That was well done.
Yeah.
Hi, Doughboys. Here's a drop that has been in my head for about 3 years, and I finally decided to put it together. Hope you enjoy the spookiest of months and have plenty of Reese's Pumpkins. Corey C. on the dough scored.
Thanks, Corey C.
Thank you, Corey. I liked it. You know what? The Drop King himself is here outside with the Drop
Drop
Queen.
King is just hanging out. Yeah.
He's hanging
DK,
out. DK.
and the lady Drop King.
And
Yes.
DQ.
just
Yeah.
hanging out.
They're just here. Yeah.
hanging out. We were like, come and see a record, and then there's no room in this room. So he's just kind of sitting out there,
He's
sadly.
just hanging
Yeah.
and was like, I felt like really trying to fight me. I felt he was giving me like very aggro energy.
Yeah. It's being in the Headgum studios. He's sort of like, I got to be like a hunk now.
Well, the Headgum Studios, for a lot of people, I feel like that listen, and I listen, so I have a little bit of insight hearing you guys talk about it, but it's also a CrossFit studio. So it's podcasts, equipment, it's microphones, it's cameras,
Right.
it's battle ropes,
Yeah.
it's big giant boxes,
right.
tractor tires. We're all sitting on giant tractor tires.
Nick and I have never taken advantage of the workout equipment at Heg. We just walk out the door. when
Yeah,
we're
we
done.
just leave immediately,
Mhm.
raid the fridge, and then we're out of here. Our guest today for Shockdoughbooerdeath 2023, a scarifying month of frights and bites, Jason Mantzoukas. Jason, thanks so much for
Wow.
making time for us.
Gentlemen, I could not be happier to be here.
What a treat.
What an absolute
He had the name
delight.
down pretty good. I don't know the name at all.
Shocktober. Yeah.
Shockdoughbooerdeath.
Doughboy.
I have it on my
Doughboerdeath.
iPad. I'm reading it, so I don't have it as committed to memory.
Yeah, Wags has got a prompter.
All this is pre-written, baby. Like I was saying.
Pencils down, Wags. Pencils down.
This is the first episode since the writer's
Pencils
strike has
up.
ended.
That's right. First one we've
Pencils up.
recorded since the writer's strike.
I want to say thank you, studios, for these characters that were in today.
Oh, yeah. By the way, the SAG strike is still going on, and you guys are promoting a Warner Brothers property.
We can go on studio lots for writing reasons. We can contact the studios. Speaking of which, dear Mattel,
Dear Mattel,
the following is a list of my many issues with the Barbie movie.
if you're not watching the YouTube, just know that when Mitch does this, he moves his fingers around like he's typing. Dear Mattel, like he's playing a piano.
I got to talk to him a lot, but my issues with Barbie, we can't get into them here.
We can't get into it. We don't.
Oh,
have time.
you don't want to detail? You don't think the three gentlemen on this panel should break down our beefs with the Barbie movie? And shock of all shocks, South Shore native Mike Mitchell has a problem with the Barbie movie. Boston's own.
Boston's behind me on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Boston strong. Come on.
God.
Oh no.
Boston strong against the Barbie movie. Not my. You have a tattoo that says "Not my Barbie."
we
Hashtag "Not my Barbie."
Hit that before the movie released.
gotta bring back Boston strong in some way. And I think that this is a good enough reason of any.
Sure.
If we don't, then we're tacitly agreeing that Boston is weak.
I agree. This is the truth.
Great point. Zooks.
Also, a bad time to do this, but rest in peace, Tim Wakefield, a great one of the greatest knuckleballers of all time.
Wow.
Wags passed away.
This will be a few weeks in the future, but that's very nice, Mitch.
He's still dead. Can we check?
Yeah, I think so. Zooks.
Kurt Schilling, a piece of shit, outed him. Did you read this or no?
No, I didn't.
Kurt Schilling, like everyone was quiet about it, and then Kurt Schilling was like, people were like told me this, and I don't think I'm supposed to say it, but he said that he had brain cancer, and then he died like 2 days later.
Oh man.
And
Oh, you mean prior to his death?
Yeah, prior to his death. He's
wow.
like, no one knew it. And then Kurt Schilling outed him. And then Jason Varitek's wife was like, fuck you, you piece of, like, she was basically like, fuck you, you asshole.
Wow.
Which is, he's such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He stole money from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
He was a
Well,
hero
I
to
mean,
us in many ways.
Rhode Island's got money to steal. I mean, this is just Buddy Cianci's money.
Zeus, I want to ask you while we're in the realm of movies and entertainment. I know you're a movie buff. We were talking movies yesterday. Do you like a horror film?
I am not a horror fan.
Interesting.
I feel like horror is one of those things that takes hold either when you're young or it doesn't.
Sure.
And for me, it didn't. I mean, I watched them all, especially like the ones that are like the Ari Aster movies or the but I don't go in for like The Nun 2.
Sure.
Or Patrick Wilson,
Conjuring.
Yes,
sure.
I don't, or the dolls that come, and none of it. I'm not a big horror person.
I think I'm probably closer to you than I am to Mitch, because Mitch is like a big time horror guy and loves the horror franchises. And like, I'll see the art house horror.
Now.
I've seen a lot of them, but I mean, and I've seen a lot of the classics, but like there are a lot of blind spots, and I also feel like it's like horror is such a deep dive genre that the people are into it are like really, really into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. And it has such a long history.
Right.
And there's so many different tributaries to get into if you want to. And I don't have enough of the desire. Batman's about to eat an orange.
Yes.
If you're creeping on and you're looking for a jumping on point for the video feed, Batman eats an orange. Let's just be quiet while he does it.
It's a Tangelo.
Is it from Boston? Is it a D'Angelo Tangelo?
There you go. I mean, the Batman would have to pack some snacks, right? It's a thing that is never really talked about in the canon.
That's what's in the utility belt.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got an orange in there somewhere.
Shark repellent,
right?
A granola bar, a Tangelo.
Okay, let me ask you this.
The inside of the mask is wet.
You don't have to wear it the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's gonna go up for. I'll try to pull it down again.
It's fine. I have this question for you about horror movies. Does having the name Jason affect your Halloween in any way?
When I was a kid, absolutely. Because when I was a kid, that's when those movies were singular.
Right.
Like the Jason movies, and then Freddy, and it was really Jason, Freddy, and Michael Myers were it. And everybody dressed as those characters or whatever. So having the name Jason was synonymous with like the most prolific horror killer of the moment.
Wow.
So yeah, it was crazy. But it was also like people would just want to like tease you with it.
Yeah,
it wasn't cool in any way. It was there to be seized upon by Boston bullies and used to deride or take you apart in some way, shape, or form.
Did you ever reclaim it and go as Jason?
Never.
Wow. Have you thought about it?
No, I never did. It's so funny. I never even thought about it. Yeah. I almost always I went as like Luke Skywalker. I went as Darth Vader. It was all that kind of stuff. I just wasn't into horror enough to engage with it on that level. Although I should have, because boy, would that have been great.
I guess that's the fun of like Halloween is like you don't have to be a horror guy. You can just dress up as like a crayon or something. You can whatever the fuck you want.
Oh yeah.
Be Santa if you want. Why not?
I was just thinking like we need to like they need to make modern horror movies with a slasher, like modern like Ezra, or I'm trying to think of like names that are I'm saying like modern baby names.
Oh, you need to a baby needs to be called like Mason.
There needs to be like a murderer called Holden.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. That's
Braden, I know several Bradens who are younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to update it. We need new slashers.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need iconic, murderous psychopaths that are named like a modern normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finn.
Yes. Great one.
Yeah.
Finn. Well, they haven't. It makes you think that there's not.
There's like a modern serial killer named like Liam or something, and they're like, oh, it's got to be a young person. There's like, wait, no, it's a really old guy.
Yeah.
Back when that name was
Irish
first
guy,
around.
a real old
it's a whole Irish guy.
Fucking old Irish just walking around killing everybody. God damn.
That's fun.
That is fun.
I guess that just shows that what a boom the 80s and 70s and 80s were for the slashers. There haven't been,
Well,
Ghostface now is 30 years old.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
You also don't hear that many. Like I don't hear of people naming their children now Jason.
Sure.
You know, like
yeah,
Jason
right.
is also a name that is kind of obsolete now, or just kind of slipped out of favor, I guess. The same way I guess, you know, there aren't that many Freddies to begin with. There's almost, and still even in culture now, there's so few Leatherfaces. You know, how many?
That was my parents' second choice.
Yeah, right.
When's the last time you met a kid named Leatherface?
Yeah, not recently.
There goes Amelia wearing a clown nose.
Amelia's
on
been
the way
wearing
out.
that clown nose for at least an hour.
Amelia is hopped up today. I came into the room and she was doing crazy eights.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she did him again wearing this clown nose.
She was building that energy for the show.
She certainly, which we didn't take part in, which
No.
you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Amelia in here twice doing crazy eights to get the energy up. The two people in costume come moping into the room.
Okay, Zooks, I want to ask you about a topic that I
Go.
don't think we've discussed on the podcast. Maybe we have. And,
All right.
But
Is
you,
it Heathcliff?
it's not Heathcliff. We could deconstruct some more Heathcliffs if we want. You and I were both in the Boy Scouts of America.
Yes.
And I'm curious, like, what was your Boy Scout experience? Was it positive overall? Do you have good memories attached?
I do.
Yeah.
It was, for the most part, positive. I grew up in a very small town with not a lot of kids.
Got it.
And so it actually was pretty huge for me just because it gave me an opportunity to, like, be around other kids and socialize and do activities and stuff, which I
Sure.
didn't do a lot of, especially in my younger years. So
What was going on in the hot? Why was there no?
not a lot of, it's it's a 1 square mile town. So it's population wise, like very small, and not a ton of young kids. Okay.
It's just
Mitch,
had a very juicy orange slice.
please watch the video of this. Mitch asks a question and then sloppily eats a Tangelo dressed as Batman. What the fuck is this? The fact that you know you're being recorded on video and are still attempting this is wild. Your hands must be so sticky.
I'm covered in Tangelo juice.
It's like
This is a nightmare. I fucked up quite a bit here.
Do you need a napkin?
No, it's okay. I'm
do
just
you want a wet wipe?
Oh, is there what? Oh, yes, please. This is look.
A very handy thing that
This is-
we noticed during our lunch with Zooks
Yes,
is
we'll
having
get
wet
back
wipes
to
on
this.
hand.
This was huge.
Incredibly clever thing to have in this day and age.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's 2.
Thank you.
Get it together.
Wow.
It's like
I'll
there's a
save one.
bear in the room. Just getting into it.
I've read a thing about bears. They eat salmon, raw.
Sure.
Not cooked? They eat salmon, raw. I like that you had to amend your statement to make sure we know they eat them raw.
So they eat them raw. Well,
Like sushi grade.
it all stemmed from a tweet about a woman doing either on Instagram or whatever she's like, I'm gonna do like a bagel and lox, but she was cutting raw salmon and
Okay.
putting it on her bagel, not knowing that that's not lox. Like she just thought that lox were.
Oh, just like grocery
Just raw
store salmon
would
You
be
got
like
it.
a smoked salmon.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of things, people being like, there's worms in salmon. So there was like this big thing about how there's worms in salmon. And then there was a thing about bears, and bears will have like worms hanging out of their ass
Yeah, it's nasty.
because they eat salmon all
sure.
the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I did not know about.
Oh,
that
no. I remember talking to someone who did realized they had a tapeworm because they took a shit and there was like a tail hanging out of their asshole.
Oh my god!
Which
that.
was
God.
a piece, not a tail literally, but like the end of the worm.
I
Oh
hate
It had
my
gotten big enough
God.
to travel through his intestines and have a little bit hanging out.
God.
Awful.
Like fucking crazy.
What do you do? Do you just pull at that point? What do you do?
I think you take poison, it kills it, and
Yeah.
you shit it out.
Oh my god!
Because I think if you pull, it can split and then multiply.
Because it's
Oh my God.
it's latched onto because it's feeding off of what you eat, and it gets bigger. It
God.
comes in your body tiny and gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you eat. It eats and it gets
Right.
bigger and bigger and bigger. So
So you're kind of losing weight as this
You are.
happens. Okay.
wait a minute, hang on a second. The Joker's got
And these are
an
in raw
idea.
salmon? Okay.
Maybe I have a big old worm inside me.
I mean, it's.
I'm just saying.
You mean inside, because I know from listening to the show you don't have a big worm on the outside.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
That's the most
and I remember
nightmarish
someone
thing you've heard on Horror
describing
Month.
to me, and I can't
Yeah.
imagine is the truth. Although I'm sure the fans will let us know.
I just want to say that for a worm, I think it would be a pretty
Great life.
No, I'm saying the thing on the outside of me for a worm, I think it would be pretty good for a worm.
Yes.
I think
Yes, that's what you should tell dates. That's what you should tell dates. Just want you to know you're about to be pretty pleased if what you're expecting is a worm. Is that what you do? You take off all your clothes and it's like, time to cut bait. But I remember this guy telling me about the tapeworm, the same person. I don't think this is true, or maybe this is some old thing, but that they would put a bowl of milk in front of your mouth.
Oh my God.
And the tapeworm would come out. Or they would put a bowl of something pungent or something that the tapeworm wanted.
That's right, like
and it would
oatmeal or
come
something.
out in search of, in pursuit of that. They would grab it and pull it out of your mouth. But I think now you just take a pill that kills it and you shit it out. I is what I believe is true.
I've heard like you wear like a hot towel over your head and then there's like oatmeal or there's something like that.
Okay.
There's something that gets the worms out.
Yeah.
There's
something that gets the worms out.
I say that on my dates as well.
Just so you know, there's something that gets the worms out.
People found this podcast episode from like a WebMD search. They're like, okay. Oatmeal mask. All right. While we're in this kind of disgusing territory.
Sorry. And you'd asked about Boy Scouts as well.
That's right. That's right. I want to get back to Boy Scouts, but I am asking this question of guests this month on the main feed. And it's okay to take a second to think, but like, what is the food that you would characterize as the grossest that you enjoy? Like, what's the thing you're just like, I like to pig out on this, and I think it's kind of disgusI'm
Oh, that's a good question.
I feel like you don't have
because I know your diet is also kind of limited.
I'm pretty restricted, but I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of that I enjoy is what I'm trying to what I'm bumping.
Yeah,
on,
do you maybe have a
like I remember like there's I was living in Morocco and had a meal that was
living in Morocco.
I did after college. I lived in Morocco for a while.
Cool. That's wild.
And I ate like a sheep's head at one point.
Whoa.
Not alone, but it was being served in a situation where I felt like it was absolutely incumbent on me to eat anything and everything that was presented out of respect.
Wow.
But everything that was given to me, I thought was disgusting.
Yeah.
Like cheek fat and eyeball and all this stuff.
Oh my
so
God.
that was like a wild meal. But that's a singular meal. I've never had that before, again or anything like that. I'm trying to think if there's anything that is gross or is perceived of as gross that I just love or
you know what?
Do you do alt like because of your allergies? Do you do an alt version of food that maybe people would be like, oh, that's
I wonder
strange.
like what like I'm trying to think like what's a version? Not really because like all the stuff I can't eat, the alt versions of it, like I can't eat almost anything for breakfast.
Yeah.
Except oatmeal.
Yeah.
Boring. Granola and yogurt, boring. Like I end up eating very boring.
Yeah.
Not very interesting, experimental, weird.
Yeah.
More often than not, I'm not adventurous as an eater. I'm
just going back to Boy Scouts. Like,
You're going back?
Yeah, I'm re-enlisting.
I don't think you can.
Never got Eagle Scout.
Oh God.
You're going today?
Yeah, I'm re-enlisting.
And sadly will not be the only one dressed as the Joker.
You do like a back to school, back to scout sort of
That's
premise.
Fun.
Yeah. I don't
know what's more craven and corrupt, the Boy Scouts of America or the Boston Archdiocese.
You got a Joker laugh out of them too.
Going back to Boy Scouts, one thing I remember really learning to like in Boy Scouts, because we had a lot of like potted meats and canned meat stuff that was like shelf stable and like powdered milk and shit. But I remember I really got into liverwurst, like just liverwurst out of the can.
That's pretty
tasty.
good.
But that's like that to me, I think sounds gross to a lot of people, but I kind of like it.
Pâtés and stuff like that, texture-wise, can feel gross.
It's a little mushy, but it's flavorful.
Are you gonna have how Joaquin Phoenix has the business cards that he gives people? Is yours going to say hi, buddy, or something like that? Trying to think of what yours would say.
Yeah, it'd be a hey, buddy. Yeah. Why not?
I got a question for you, Zooks, about the Nahant area.
Yeah, go ahead.
We talked about, when you were there, you did a show, and we were talking about a good place to get a beef.
Oh, like a roast beef sandwich.
Yes, which is why, because we've talked about the bar pizza. We've talked about this little
That's right.
bit. The North Shore.
We reviewed Kelly's when we were in Boston.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, did you go to Revere Beach Kelly's? Which Kelly's did you go to?
Yes.
We did. And they also were mean to it, by the way.
We had an uneven experience at Kelly's.
I believe that you could have an
Sure.
Especially at that location, maybe?
Yeah.
I feel like that, I don't know, no shade to Kelly's, but has fallen off a bit?
Yeah. I think that, like, I think especially like beef aficionados aren't going to like it.
You mean the Beef Boys? You mean my podcast, The Beef Boys?
There is like a North Shore Beefs Instagram page that then also turns like, let's go Brandon-y. Another time.
Sure. It's a real, I will say, subs are such a thing. Subs, heroes, whatever you call, grinders, whatever you call them from wherever you are.
Yeah.
But in New England, and especially North Shore Boston, just roast beef sandwiches. Stores that are just selling a roast beef sandwich. You're not getting a turkey sandwich. You're not getting other kinds of sandwiches. You are getting a roast beef sandwich. The place is called Mino's Roast Beef.
Yeah.
Or whichever one you go. You're a Mike's person?
Well, that was the place that I recommended that was near that's
Everett, right?
Near the Encore Casino.
Yep.
But were you eating beefs when you were younger?
I did. I grew up going to either Kelly's, the Revere Beach Kelly's, or Mino's Roast Beef in Marblehead. Yeah. Was a big one because I went to high school in Swampscott. We were bused to Swampscott for high school, which was the town next door to Marblehead, which is where Mino's was. Okay. So a lot of times a high school night would end at Mino's Roast Beef, getting like 2 pounds of roast beef at like midnight, shoving it into your system, and then almost getting into a fight with Marblehead kids because the teams were rivals, and there would always be like in a way that is so uniquely Boston. Everything was a fight. Everything would turn into you think you're better than me.
Yeah.
And what I love hearing from Mitch on the podcast, the needlessly contrarian Boston point of view.
Oh, sure.
Which is, whatever you've just said, I believe the opposite. For reasons that I myself don't even know yet. I just know you're wrong.
That happens with Weiger quite a bit.
Oh, really?
My job.
I love that you just pulled the Batman mask down for that.
We're here to test each other.
We'll antagonize each other a little bit. Yeah, that's the dynamic of the podcast.
Milton was our.
Was your rival?
Those Milton guys.
Quincy and Milton? Yeah.
We didn't even play, like, it wasn't like a football rival. It was just like it was like.
Well, that's when you went to public school, not when you were fancy and went to private school.
This is my great shame, is that I went to Thayer for a year.
Oh, Thayer too.
Thayer Academy.
What'd you do? Oh, and then you went to Deerfield Academy?
No, I didn't go to any.
You didn't go to Deerfield Academy?
I didn't go to any of these. Did
you go to Pingree, Mitch?
No, I didn't do any of that stuff. I didn't do any of like the New England, like the books about like a teenage kid and like there's like so many.
What are you describing?
Yeah. I think I know what he's describing. But
you know what I'm talking about.
I think he's trying to describe Catcher in the Rye.
There's a bunch of books about like New England kids going off to private school.
Got it, sure.
Oh, it is a very New England like kid goes to private school is very much a New England, much more so than I think here.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think
Like also specifically like Quincy kid goes to like it's always like
Quincy kid makes good.
It's
kind of a
Goes to
Horatio
private
Alger kind of
school,
thing, yeah.
owns home with multiple staircases.
it's the sort of thing of like it's like a kid from a city goes to the private school.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Not that I'm not saying Quincy was that crazy. Milton was the
From the mean streets of Quincy.
Milton was the rich town next door to Quincy. Quincy's very nice, but Milton was the snooty.
I'm curious, do you have any, just because I've heard you talk so much about it, and obviously I've heard you talk so much about the Quincy gang and all the frail bots and all the guys, are there any friends of yours from there that are still a part of your, do you maintain friendships with any of the private school kids, or are the frail bots and Wu-Tangs and Danos, they're all just Quincy guys, right?
Big Phil Dalton, I love Phil Dalton, great guy.
Wow.
Phil will
Have
like.
you met Dalton?
No, he never met Dalton. He'll and actually there are some Thayer kids who've come to
Okay.
John Earl and a few other guys
Okay,
have come
sure,
to shows. So
Keep
I
in
like
touch with some
and
of them.
I talked to
Shouts
John.
to Dalton, shouts to Earl.
Yeah, there's definitely a crew of those guys that I like more so like interact with on Instagram or something.
In my town, there were summer kids. Did you have summer kids? The idea of Emma, did you have summer kids?
In Maine a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the people who are just there for the summer,
Yeah.
then they leave. Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
vacation
They
there.
were
Got
kids
it.
who either vacationed or they went to a boarding school
Oh,
and so
wow.
were
Okay.
home
Yeah.
only for the summers.
Oh, interesting.
And
yeah.
they were like summer kids, and we
Yeah.
fucking hated them.
we didn't have any summer kids. There also was like kind of it is a private school, but it's kind of like a whatever. Anyone can go to Thayer basically. But like there's like those real like old, like 100-year-old buildings, and you're there in the wintertime and it's snowing. It's like you live on campus. Those are like there's those New England private schools.
Yeah, we don't have
you
any of that
didn't
shit
have.
out here.
Yeah.
Everything was built like the earliest it was built was like 1920. Like all our infrastructure is like, a lot newer.
But yeah, I was kind of thinking Catcher in the Rye a little bit. But there's other books too. Outside Providence was a book before it was a movie. The Farley Brothers movie. It was written by I think one of the Farley brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
But like that movie is like the idea of like he goes off to like a private school. That's
Well, like the private, like Phillips Andover and Exeter,
Yes,
like
and
those
Exeter,
Tony boarding schools
Sure.
that feel like the school in Rushmore.
Yes,
and they're reflective
100%,
of the author's experience. The author like went to a boarding school, went to the Ivy League or something, then became a published author.
And then you became an author. Like you're gonna try to say like you're like I was the rebel in school. It's like,
yeah,
you
exactly.
became an
Yeah,
author.
you're writing
you
a fucking
dork.
book, you nerd.
You fucking nerd. You became an author. You fucking nerd.
Yeah, I was
You're
kinda
dressed
cool in
as
high school.
Batman. You're dressed as Batman, calling an author a nerd.
Yeah, I kept it real.
I love dropping into this guy, having a wonderful conversation, looking over, and Wags is just the Joker.
Speaking of beefs and speaking of school, it reminded me that we have
School beefs.
that this is the thing. So, Natalie and I went to the same middle school and high school. We started dating.
Did you really?
We did. We didn't start dating until after college, though. But we have a lot of shared history. We have a lot of the same,
Did you know each other, or was your school big enough such that you just didn't cross
We
paths very
did,
much?
but we didn't know. We weren't like friends. We weren't like close. Like we knew.
And this
who
is
each
when
other
you
was.
were dating, as you pronounce it, Cameron Diaz?
I didn't overlap with Diaz. I wish. Anyway,
Were you the same grade?
Yeah, we're the same age.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so we were talking to one of her younger relatives who's now at that school and was like our middle school has a Beefs account, and it's the middle school's name Beefs, and it's just like kids fighting. It's just
Kids
like
fighting each other,
Yeah,
or
it's
like
just-
their rivals?
it's just
like
an
other
Instagram
towns?
account. No, it's just an Instagram account
wow.
of 12-year-olds like getting in fist fights on the playground. And I was like, this is fucking intense.
This is fun. You know what? We are in a pre-dystopia.
It really is.
We
yeah.
are in Act 1 of a post-up. We are in a pre-apocalypse right now, we're tipping towards, trending towards. We're in Fear the Walking Dead right now, not The Walking Dead.
Anyway,
I said to Wags that we're gonna have like the most boring version of an apocalypse. We've talked about.
yeah,
this
it's a boring
It's
dystopia. That's
like
what we live in.
it would be so much more fun if it was just a zombie. Like if it was like
Oh yeah,
that would be more
Look,
fun
I
than like
think the
kind of
next
just
10
like
years are going to
cooking.
be like a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
But I think after that, it's actually going to be pretty rad. Like I think kids that are like whatever kids now, they're like 20s, and onwards are going to be like effective and much better because all these fucking old idiots will be gone. Like so much of the problem is the 70 and 80-year-olds, the boomers who are like fucking just destroying everything, it feels like.
Oh, see, I thought you were making the opposite point you were actually making because I was like, oh yeah, in 10 years we'll be like riding around electric motorcycles with katanas, like fucking getting in fights. That's awesome.
Possible too. We could be full on Fury Road pretty soon, which I'm ready for.
Yeah.
But also I can imagine a world in which like responsible people are allowed to move forward in positions of power and change the world for the best.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I mean, maybe naively.
I love
Batman
that.
and Joker say, God bless the boomers.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Which just raised the cape. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more Doughboys.
Wags, the way I used to sleep, I might as well have been buried in a tomb. That's right. Fly me over to Egypt, put me in a pyramid, lay me in a tomb, because that's what my mattress used to be like. I laid on a thick slab of concrete, basically.
Wow.
And that is until I got a Helix sleep mattress. Wags, I've had my Helix sleep mattress now for what? 6-7 years?
Wow.
I love it. I love my Helix sleep mattress. Guess who else loves it? 2 little friends, Wally, Irma, my furry friends.
Adorbs.
My mom and sister, when they come and visit, they get the Helix sleep mattress. I go and sleep on the couch or on an inflatable bed. It's like sleeping on a pillow, Wags. I love it.
The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including the award-winning Luxe Collection, the newly released Helix Elite Collection, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers, and even a mattress made just for kids. So how will you know which Helix mattress works best for you and your body? Take the Helix Sleep Quiz and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes.
That's right, Wags, and your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door free of charge. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home.
That's why they offer a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress. Everybody is unique, and everyone sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences.
Models with memory foam layers to provide optimal pressure relief if you sleep on your side. Models with more responsive foam to cradle your body for essential support in stomach and back sleeping positions.
Plus, enhanced cooling features to keep you from overheating at night. And if your spine needs some extra TLC, they got you. Every Helix mattress has a hybrid design, combining individually wrapped steel coils in the base with premium foam layers on top. It's the perfect combination of comfort and support.
And guess what, Wags? The Helix Sleep Quiz, anyone can pass it. I took it.
Wow.
I passed it. And you know what I was paired up with? A Moonlight Luxe mattress.
And you love that thing.
I love it.
It's better than your old mattress for sure.
100%, Wags.
You know, I've heard you say this, Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
This is a quote from you. Not only is the mattress the best I've ever slept on, but the setup was fast and easy. Helix mattresses are delivered in a box and straight to your door for free. Mike Mitchell.
That's right, Wags. You know what? I got to get you on that bad boy.
Wow. You gonna double up?
Sleepover.
Plus, Helix mattresses are American-made and come with a 10 or 15-year warranty, depending on the model. Don't want to take my word for it? Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wired Magazine. It is even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep.
Helix is offering up to 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/doughboys. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Wow.
Wags, when my digestion didn't feel its best, I felt sluggish and my immune system was unsupported. If you're a longtime listener, you might know I've been drinking AG1 for about a year or 2 now.
Wow, Mitch, and I know you've told me this, and it's happened to a lot of people. When you start drinking AG1 daily, you can feel a real difference in your daily health. That's because AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, and immune support.
That's right, Wags. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a smarter, better way to elevate your baseline health.
Wow.
Not only did I replace my multivitamin with AG1, but I love that every scoop also includes prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes for gut support, magnesium and B vitamins for energy support,
adaptogens to balance body's stress levels, and vitamin C and zinc to help support immune health.
AG1 has a team of doctors and scientists. It is tested for 950 contaminants and NSF certified for sport. It is formulated based on the latest science and maintains high-quality standards.
AG1 is the supplement you trust to provide your body the support it needs daily, and that's why they've been a partner for so long.
If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1.
Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/doughboys. That's drinkag1.com/doughboys. Check it out.
Check it out.
Welcome back to Doughboys. We're here with Zooks talking Zankou. By the way, your last name, Mantzoukas, you can't spell without Zankou.
You know what?
Isn't that wild?
I have only just noticed it since you pointed it out. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, how about that?
No wonder I love this place so much. 5 forks.
Zankou Chicken, I'm going to give a little bit of extra context
Zankou
here.
with Zooks also just has when we're in the Doughboys, when
nice
we're
bit of
we're
assonance,
brainstorming
yeah.
the Doughboys episodes, Zankou with Zooks is like
I love it.
That has that's
Make a
strong.
T-shirt. Kinship
Goods.
Kinship Goods. The Zankou style yellow T-shirt,
With
but it's my
Zooks.
name.
But it's your name.
Yes.
That's really good.
That's good. Shit, that's
Fuck,
really
that's
good.
Yeah. Sells better than all of our other merch.
I know. Fuck.
Zankousis? I can't figure. There's something here. We'll punch it up.
And also, as we know, it's good to mess with the Zankou family.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So we are doing this for the spookiest of months, in part because of the true crime that is related to this chain, which I'll get to in a second. But let me give a little bit of extra context here, because there's a lot going on with Zankou. So basically what happens is Zankou was founded originally in Lebanon in the 60s by Armenian immigrants in Lebanon. They eventually end up fleeing Lebanon and immigrating to the United States. I don't know if they were actually fleeing, but that seemed to be some implication.
I love that
they kinda had to
narrative.
get out of there. Yeah, and they come to the United States, and in 1983, Mardiros Iskandarian, who is the son of the founder, his mother, Margaret, created the famous garlic paste and the bulk of the menu. The son of the founder makes his this Los Angeles outlet. That's the one we dined at yesterday. It's in Little Armenia on Sunset Normandy.
Ooh, bless you. Jeez.
You lowered the mask to
Lowered
sneeze?
the mask to sneeze into the mask. This is fascinating. But this, I guarantee, is going to be the most watched episode on YouTube ever. So much happens visually. Holy cow. Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm sorry. I thought that would be helpful if the mask was lowered, so I lowered it quickly. It didn't help too
I'm
much.
terrified to look at the inside of the mask.
It's actually okay. We're okay. in there.
Okay.
Glad
Was
to hear
it just a sneeze, or was that Tangelo?
I think that was
derived.
I think it was Tangelo
It was
dust.
it was a very citrusy sneeze.
So Zankou is mostly known for its rotisserie chicken and the aforementioned garlic sauce, but it has a full Mediterranean menu. There are about 12 to 15 locations, depending on how you count them, because there's a
I
schism in the
usually
brand.
start with one and move
Sure,
forward.
fair, yeah. Here's what happened. There's a schism in the brand in 1991. Most of the locations were owned by Mardiros, the son of the founder who founded the LA location, while the original location that he started was still owned by his parents and sister and another location. In 2003, this is the true crime incident that happens that is called the Zankou Chicken murders. And there's a great 2008 Los Angeles Magazine piece on this that I read that details the story. Mardiros, who was in the late stages of brain and colon cancer, only 56 years old at the time, very young. He had kind of like the suspicion is that his brain had kind of been ravaged by disease. He drove over to his mother and sister's house, shot and killed them both, and then killed himself. And that has, exacerbated the ongoing brand split, because now it's like a thing of like the next generation owns it, and like your dad killed my mom, and there's the whole horrific dark thing that's going on there. Here, I do want to read one quote from this
Liger
piece.
doing a true crime podcast dressed as a Joker also could be.
It really is like it's chilling to watch you now describe murders dressed as the Joker. It's one thing to just bullshit around,
Right.
but this is really upsetting. This is like watching like what's like the creature double feature or the host of the monster. Whoever Elvira or who was the guy who was the
I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Vincent Price?
That style. You should do this all the time.
This is a thing that I think is like a lot of our listeners are younger and have no context for what you're describing.
True.
But like, there used to be a time when there'd be like an old two horror movies airing in syndication.
Gilbert Godfrey was one of them.
One of them was Paul Thomas Anderson's father.
Yeah,
really?
In the L.A. area, Paul Thomas Anderson's father was the Svengoolie. Or it wasn't. That's one of them.
Yes,
I don't think that's what there was a Zachary. There was a bunch of
the guy you're talking about had a mustache, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember, but
it'd be like a Mad Professor character or something.
Yes.
Someone would come on and do like a character to introduce to do the back end and
Elvira was
one
the
movie
horny
in the front
version
of
of it,
the
which
movie.
and then there was USA Up All Night, which
that was its own thing.
Channel 56 in Boston would have Creature Double Feature every Saturday, and it would be like a Godzilla movie with like a creature from the Black Lagoon.
That's where I saw The Stuff for the first time.
All black and white. Those were the scary movies I watched. They were like the Universal monster movies, all that kind of stuff. Were just what was on TV because I grew up pre-cable. So I didn't have access to like all that stuff. So I watched whatever was there.
Right. I remember the pre-cable day.
Oh yeah.
25, 56, 38.
Yep.
Those are our big ones.
You had to remember your channel numbers. We've done this on the podcast before, but what are people's numbers?
I think it was hashtag show us your numbers.
Show us your numbers.
I think that's what it was.
Show us those numbers. Channel 38, Channel 56, and 20. They were all where you watched reruns. That's where syndication was. Like I would come home from school and that's where you watched The Brady Bunch or MASH or Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days. They were all on like Channel 38, I think, and then 56 had like Leave It to Beaver and like weird I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
Like I watched so much TV from the 50s and 60s.
Me too.
That's me too.
Green Acres and everything. Like
totally,
I watched all
Mr.
that
Ed.
stuff. Yeah.
I would watch like the Andy Griffith show, and it's wild to think that the equivalent of that now is like a 12-year-old watching The Office.
Yes,
it's like that much. It's the same span of time, basically.
Well, sure, but
Isn't
also
that weird?
But also I think it's even like in '86 or something. If I was watching Mr. Ed, it would be like someone watching like a '90s. Like, which they don't.
Frasier.
Yeah, I'm saying like little kids don't watch Frasier anymore, right?
Well,
like,
the other version of it to me that always blows my mind is like when I was a kid to listen to what was oldies, like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, was only 12 to 15 years in the past.
Oh yeah, that blows my mind.
Versus like currently Nevermind or an iconic album from my childhood is now 30 plus years old.
Yeah.
And that's chilling.
That is chilling.
I mean, we could just do the rest of the show all about like how catastrophic it is to age. Because I hear you guys talking about it as people who are and have turned 40 and having just turned 50. This shit is not cool.
As Alvaro said up top, what's scarier than the passage of time in his roast? It's true. Okay, so
I was going to say, I just a second ago, I said, young kids aren't watching Frasier anymore, which seems insane. I don't know if young kids were watching Frasier back in the day.
Maybe the new reboot of Frasier will hook them. I will say, I watch Frasier all the time.
I love Frasier.
Old
Frasier's
Frasier.
Good, yeah.
Incredibly, one of the best written sitcoms, strongest writing. Anyway, love it.
You just pulled out a big hair.
I had a hair in my mouth. It was stuck to my makeup. And I was like, this is a thing the Joker must deal with.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's got a hair in his mouth.
The plight of the Joker.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I know.
I just gotta say, this is like sticking to my neck.
Take it off.
I gotta at least take
the
this.
cape is also the part of Mitch is struggling with a cape that is not visible.
No.
Not visible even on camera. If you were to look right now, you can't see that. You would be like, oh, whoa, he's wearing a cape.
All right, look. All right, good.
Yeah, make yourself comfortable. It's fine. You look fine. I mean, your Batman symbol is a piece of cardboard with a bat logo drawn in marker.
I'm so mad nobody let me know. I would have come secretly dressed as like Robin.
Let me read this quote from this LA.
Oh,
this
from the
Los Angeles
Zankou
magazine.
murders?
Yeah, from this story.
This story, I know Wags mentioned it already. I really implore everybody to link it in the notes. It's a great article.
It's a great story, but I want to read this quote.
Also, I was supposed to bring black pants, and I'm wearing jeans as Batman. You look good, and I I feel like I fucked this up.
There was a little bit of we didn't know what pieces were part of the costumes, and so I erred on the side of bringing too much stuff, and I think you brought a black T-shirt.
It's fine. It's almost
Amelia brought a black T-shirt for me.
It's almost as if one of you takes this show more seriously than the other.
And I ask, why so serious? It's a weird role reversal.
Here's the quote. This is from Rita Eskandarian, Mardiros' widow, in the story by Mark Arax. Before we married, he told me, I'm going to live with my parents my whole life. I will never leave my mother. I figured this was my pact, or fate. But it was too much. My mother, she was the queen of the house, not me. Next to God, it was his mother.
Wow.
Intense.
Mommy.
Yeah.
I can relate to this.
I was just going to say, uh-oh.
So all that said,
Are you guys still together?
Yes, we're still mother and son.
Cool. That's great.
all that said, the food at this place, and I think that everyone who has had both will say that the original location is a little bit better than the version that's been franchised, but they are both fucking great. And I think this is one of the real, the true LA chains, one of the real LA institutions, one that locals of all classes, cuts across class lines, love to eat at Zankou Chicken. Foodies love it, and people who don't think about food as anything except like the cheapest meal they can get love Zankou Chicken. I go frequently, and I was very excited to return to it. And Zooks, given that you can't eat eggs, this is a place where a lot of the menu is
very safe,
very available,
very safe for me. So Zankou for me is a LA institution.
Yeah.
From when I used to come here for just pilot seasons and was, like sleeping in like bizarre, a random old woman's apartment, like that she still lived in. And I just had like an empty room with an air mattress that I lived in for 3 months.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. I was always go to the Zankou at Normandy. And it was cheap, and it was good, and it was, healthy-ish, you're eating something that is filling and delicious, but isn't bad for you.
Yeah.
And that is huge to me, because I don't want to feel disgusting.
Right.
And so Zankou is, for the most part, safe. If there is egg in a thing at Zankou, it's obvious.
Right.
It's not sneaky. There's not like a complexity of ingredients or anything like that. It's pretty simple. A lot of Mediterranean or Middle Eastern food is pretty safe for me. So this place is dynamite, and I was thrilled we got to do it. It's one of my favorite LA spots.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that includes the bread, right? Because bread very oftentimes has added eggs.
Yes.
But this kind of bread.
Flatbread, pita bread, flatbread, anything like that almost never has eggs because it doesn't need the binding characteristics that egg provides. Eggs hold breads together, and if you're just doing a flatbread, you don't need that. So I can almost always eat, a pita bread or something, a lavash, similar.
Wow.
I love this place. I took my mom, dad, and sister here back in the day, and my mom and sister still give me shit about it because they thought it was like a divey, and they were like, "What?" Massachusetts people never had even seen chicken shawarma before.
And for context, for people who haven't been to this, it's like it feels like a fast food restaurant inside.
Yeah.
So it's
it looks a lot better than it even used to.
It used to look really
used to be
pretty
very
janky.
And some of the locations still are kind of a little bit, not the nicest interior. And if you're going to be like, hey, my family's in town, I'm going to take them out to eat someplace, and you took them to a fast food restaurant, they might justifiably be a little bit confused. But the food is fantastic.
They were like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, that sort of deal. And
they were super mad at you.
They were kind of they were like they make a joke about it till this day. I'm like, wow, you took us to that crazy place, and I'm like, this is an institution. You guys have no idea.
It's so funny. Yeah,
my dad enjoyed it, and my dad was like the only one who was.
So that's not what killed him. It wasn't shame that you brought him to Zankou.
This is the thing. To everyone online, you can't make jokes about, but when you're a master and you're good at it, you can do it.
I sat on it for like 30 seconds. Sat on it for 30 seconds. I had it fully ready to go. And I was like, this is mean.
I like it.
This could go badly.
It is. I think it is what killed him, actually.
He was like, He brought me to rotisserie chicken. Goodbye, world.
I mean, I don't know how adventurous my dad was as far as food, but I think he would be, he would try anything.
Well, it's also because we think of, I think of a lot of people think of Mediterranean food as kind of like, oh, it's everywhere.
Sure,
This is a very common thing. But when this was founded in 1982, they founded it because there was a void in the market. Like as much of a Middle Eastern and Mediterranean immigrant population as there was in Los Angeles at the time, there weren't a lot of Mediterranean restaurants. And so it was there was a time when it was a newer thing.
And also you make a good point of that. Like I think people think of like shish kebab, rice,
right,
and maybe hummus. And then like if you're like getting a plate that's chicken shawarma and pickled beets and tahini, it's just stuff that they hadn't tried. So they were like they thought it was strange.
Sure, yeah.
Not
for
strange,
sure.
but
and
they thought it was.
especially, I will say, even though I'd had maybe some of those like a souvlaki or things that also trend Greek, because I had a lot of that stuff in Greek, there wasn't what I always have at Zankou and what I think is truly their standout thing is the rotisserie chicken. And that is something that I had just not had until I came on that level, until it was Zankou. There was Boston Market, there was stuff like that. But, but that wasn't at all what Zankou's doing.
No, rotisserie chicken for me was always like, okay, what's the cheapest version I can get? Very often that was like just from the grocery store.
Exactly.
Or and I think Boston Market does a good job. But calm down, Mitch. But
Boston Strong. I do think that.
but Zankou is like at such a higher level. It's such a better. It's just so much like the technique of making this rotisserie chicken. Even though it's a very simple preparation, it's just as far as I can tell, it's just dusted with salt and slow roasted. But it's just executed so well.
Here's
the
issue.
Best version of it.
I should have got my mom and sister rotisserie chicken. I got shawarma, and I told them all to get shawarma or the tarna plate, chicken tarna plate. And that to me was like, that's why you went to Zankou. And then yesterday I was saying, I don't know if I'd ever had the rotisserie
which is
chicken.
wild.
This blew Weiger and I's mind because that is literally yesterday was the only time I've had the tarna. Because it was when I was, somebody brought me to Zankou, I think for the first time, and was like, it's the chicken. Get that and only that. And the rest of it's all great. But that rotisserie chicken is dynamite.
It's so good.
In the Northeast, I think forever, Mediterranean food equaled Greek food. Yes. I think you're 100%.
You're
that's
absolutely
what it was. And this is, it's different. I mean, it's not Greek food. I mean, it's...
No, it's different. The spices are different. The preparation is a little different. It is different. But yeah, I think for us growing up, that are like the only access we had to those kind of dishes was Greek or Turkish or something like that. But mostly especially in New England, Greek families opened pizza places, sandwich shops.
That's what I was going to say. Even when you get Greek food, it's like you're getting like a Greek salad and pizza.
Exactly.
And like a gyro seems like that's like that's really different. A gyro. I don't know if I'm going to even try that. But that I loved it. I loved Zankou the first time I tried it. And I forever have loved it.
Everybody does. I don't know that I've ever met somebody who's like a Zankou skeptic even.
Yeah.
I think if you were a vegetarian, maybe because really all you can get is the falafel. But like if you eat meat, or even if you don't eat red meat, I mean you just eat chicken, it's like the best chicken you can get.
I saw Buck Henry in there one time.
Whoa, that's cool!
Incredible!
What a sighting!
Wow.
Rest in peace, Buck Henry. But he was in there. I think I was with Kowalik, and we both saw Buck Henry.
Kowalik.
Is that Buck Henry?
I think that's when Buck Henry decided to die.
He's like, who is that, Kowalik? I'm out. Goodbye, cruel world.
So basically whatever protein you're getting, most likely chicken, but they have a bunch of options, is coming as part of a plate that's served with hummus, tomatoes, garlic spread, which is so garlicky, and it's the reason a lot of people go there. It's so delicious, but you're definitely paying for it breath-wise. What they call pickles, but is actually, mostly pickled beets with a few hot peppers, yellow peppers.
The best.
And then there is also some pita bread. And that's just a meal in and of itself. I mean, it's such like
And you can substitute for those things.
Right.
A cucumber salad. Like, there's a bunch of different sides that you can build your plate with. Which are great. And everything you're getting, component-wise, is delicious. But then you can also, using the pita bread, create little sandwiches for yourself.
Why not?
Why not create a tiny sandwich?
That's the fun of...
It is fun.
When I get the chicken tartar plate, because I think it comes with two pita breads. This is what I do. sometimes now, especially if you go to the non-original location, because forever I was like, there's no rice. They give you a ton of chicken tarna, and then it was the pickled beets, and then tomatoes.
Can,
and then,
can we just pause real quick? Because tarna, and I didn't realize this, is actually a registered trademark of Zankou. So people might not know what tarna is. It's basically like chicken on a
shawarma.
spit. It's like chicken shawarma. Yeah.
Which I believe it. I don't know. No, I mean, maybe they always just called it tarna, but I thought it was chicken shawarma at one point, but probably wrong. But it's the chicken shawarma tarna, the pickled beets, tomatoes, and then tahini, and then hummus. That's how the plate usually used to come, and then a side of garlic sauce, and then 2 pieces of pita bread. I called it brita. 2 pieces of pita bread, and then you would put the chicken tarna, the hummus, every component of it in there, and you make a sandwich. It's fantastic. Now
but they do have rice, you know.
They do have if you get like any of the kebabs and stuff, they give you rice and a roasted tomato, which is like another big thing is the roasted tomatoes.
Is kebab the most fun food word to say?
It's very fun.
Kebab.
It's very, very fun.
Kebab.
By the way,
I mean it's full of those hilarious hard consonants.
Yeah.
So that makes it so fun.
Yeah.
Look, I gotta say this.
Kebab.
Amelia just said, "Don't read until after the record." She texted me this.
Oh, okay. Let's get into it then.
I locked my keys in the studio like an idiot, so I'm chilling at La Colombe.
Oh, I'll go get
Just
her.
let me know when the record is over. I said, "No." I said, "I'll text Anya now."
Ask her to send a picture of herself wearing the red nose in La Colombe.
Hold on.
That's too accommodating of her.
Oh, that's very sweet, but no, she should.
Yeah, we can send someone over.
It is consistently shocking to me that the people who work for this show respect you.
Ask Emma what she thinks.
Define respect.
Yeah.
Pay my bills.
Emma, live and in person in the studio for the first time.
Yeah, it's
never
been a
met.
while.
Emma, have we ever met even?
In person? I don't know. I feel like we have, but
I think you dropped off French fries at my house.
I did. I dropped off a bunch of frozen French
what it
fries in
was.
your driveway.
We
There
did
you go.
meet.
So we did
We
early
did meet.
COVID.
That's
God,
funny.
Such stupid bullshit.
Sorry,
Holy
Emma.
shit.
That sucks.
I'm gonna have to add Emma to the list of people who know where my house is.
Gun to my head, couldn't tell you.
Okay, so I got a quarter dark plate. I usually get the half plate, but we get with the half chicken plate, which is a substantial meal. But we got a half rotisserie chicken for the table
We
to
went a
also
little
share.
buck wild.
We
We
went
went
buck
nuts,
wild.
and I will say I drove a lot of that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. It worked out
In
fine.
my persistent effort to bankrupt the Doughboys.
Nothing is going to waste. So we had we also got
In fact,
a combo
I brought
chicken.
the leftovers here today. We had a lot of leftovers.
Yeah,
I said, I'm not going to eat this. And you said, I will eat it.
yeah,
But you were going on the bus.
right.
And
It was a hot day.
It was a hot day.
I felt terrible that you had come all the way from the west side on a bus
Oh, no,
just
it's
to
fine.
eat chicken with us.
Did you drive today, or are you going back on the bus
I
as Joker
did drive
with
today.
Zankou?
I
Okay,
did drive
good.
today because I had to bring a
The
bunch of stuff.
idea of the Joker being on a bus carrying 2 big bags of Zankou is honestly a short film that I would like to go to Sundance with.
All right, here we go.
It's just like Joker's day off.
Are you still wearing the red nose? Yes. Send a pic. And then she's wearing the red nose at La Colombe.
Amazing.
Incredible. And
There
she is.
And she's
having a coffee in a hipster coffee shop in Silver Lake,
With
wearing
a
a red clown nose. I love it.
I wonder, will people bat an eye at that or no?
No,
Not at
no
all.
one care.
We gotta figure out this Sundance movie. I think we do need to
Oh my
film this
God.
somehow.
I
know that you're done with acting.
We'll
but
figure something out. Okay, so we had
this would be how like this. I feel like if this was, I don't know, 8 years ago, this would be the beginning of like a series of Funny or Die videos.
100%.
That were like,
yeah. Bunch of cheap direct-to-camera Funny or Die videos.
4,000 views. All right.
Yeah, hey, doing pretty good. Okay.
Just amiable Joker.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Those Joker videos, they total you got like 22,000 views over 7 videos.
Yeah.
How much did you spend on that?
$250,000.
Yeah. Okay.
And how much did you make?
150.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and like a case of water bottles.
Yeah.
That you took from set at the end of the day.
I got free Jersey Mike's lunch once. So
A classic Funny or Die boondoggle. Every 15 minutes, one of you is going to come in and do a bit with this bowling ball. We have crudité outside.
Yeah. And this is for Halliburton? This is a branded spot? Okay. Okay, so
This is a birthday video card for Dick Cheney?
So they claim their garlic sauce is egg-free. At least they did in person. But
This was the first time they've ever told me that, because
Yeah.
every other time I've been and mentioned my allergy, they said, don't have this.
this is the thing. I think, and you were right to be suspect
Is
about
it
it
the original
because
spot? Maybe
because that's the
different.
other thing. Maybe it's a different recipe versus the other
Well,
locations.
I only go to that
So
location.
you only go to that location.
Well, I've tried the other ones. I just don't think they're as good.
But either way, it's a secret recipe. Like, it's one of those
Yes.
things where, like, they've disclosed the ingredients on a retail version of the sauce, but who knows if that's the same version of the sauce that's in stores. So I don't know if it actually has eggs or not. I will say that it is delicious, but
It's
you just
great.
have to decide. You have to take that devil's bargain.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to have horrible breath for the
I
rest
got to
of the
look
day?
into it. But
Yeah.
but I was shocked when they said that yesterday, because I've never had the garlic sauce and have always been told not to eat it.
Yeah.
Zankou's also, I will say, I use it as a good delivery option because
Oh,
it
sure.
travels well.
Yeah.
As
Does.
long as you're
Yeah.
not getting things that get soggy, fries and so forth, like it arrives great, still warm and good. And if you want, pop it in the whatever oven, air fryer, whatever you've got, and it's dynamite.
Yeah.
Which I think it might heat up well tonight, Wags, for you. You're taking the leftovers
That's
home.
right.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you're going to have it after. Well, maybe you will. I don't know.
I probably won't have it tonight.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
It
I'll
can
have it
last a
tomorrow.
couple days in the fridge.
I'm definitely going to have it.
Amelia's here. Now, I was asking this, but do you think anyone even batted an eye at her having a clown nose
No.
on?
Let's get her in here and ask. I want to
Okay.
know what her experience at La Colombe was. I was saying prior to the show, and I will say now as well on mic, Amelia, home run addition to the Doughboys extended universe.
She's insane. Out of her mind.
I could
in
have
many
listened to her
ways.
talk about Burning Man for hours longer,
I-
and her consistent efforts to demolish the toilets here at Headgum. Ooh, Weiger is
that is
trying to spill almost as if he wants to.
This is very Joker-y.
Joker-ish.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Okay,
don't
so
think she's coming in. She's wandering.
Oh, she does
We'll
wanna
get
come
her
in, okay.
attention.
So I was scooching over to make room for Amelia for people on the audio feed. We'll see if she wants to come in here. So, okay, so I'll say this. I have my normal order that I basically never deviate from. I have had the chicken tarna before, and I have had the shawarma before, but I've always just come back to the rotisserie chicken. And based on this experience, and Zeus, I think you feel the same way. Amelia's walking in.
Still wearing the
Still
red
wearing the
nose.
clown nose.
Incredible stuff, Amelia.
I love everything we had, but I still have no reason to not get the rotisserie chicken
Same.
because it just always hits.
Same. If someone else had it, or like we did get something for the table, I would snack on the other stuff, but always rotisserie chicken. Amelia, did you have the red nose on for the entirety of your time in La Colombe, or did you only put it on when we asked?
I don't. I only put it on when you asked.
Okay.
Now,
Did anyone
you-
react?
No. No, I don't think anyone noticed. I just took a quick pic.
Okay.
And then you took it off again?
No, I kept it on after that. But I really did feel like a clown after I left
Yeah.
my keys.
Mm.
The second I walked out, I
Oh.
realized
You
I
can-
left the keys inside the building and I was going to be locked out until the end of the record. And I didn't want to be disruptive.
You can always interrupt this shit. But anytime.
I
let
said
us
to the
know.
guys, it is consistently shocking to me that the people that under their employ respect them and the show.
I can't believe that you were not going to come until after the show was over.
I didn't. Well, this is like the most disruptive version of what I had in my head would happen.
Really sitting, being on mic, wearing the red nose,
I was not
stealing focus
expecting this.
completely, Amelia.
I put a disclaimer at the top of a text to Mitch that said, "Do not read until after."
Oh, he
the
read it on
record."
air. We know.
Well, I was trying to avoid, chaos, but I guess it just.
You're
Yeah.
You're trying to avoid chaos while he's sitting next to the Joker.
Kind of my thing.
you look like you are like a Joker's minion.
You
in
do.
many
You
ways.
look like one of my
Yes, you look
acolytes.
like you're part of the
Apprentice.
clown, the
Right.
clown posse that goes with the Joker. The Joker gang.
I don't know if I want to be a part of this posse.
I think that I don't know if we told you this beforehand, but we'll talk about this on a future episode. But when we hired you, I don't know if we both knew how out of your mind you were.
Yeah, we were like, you seem capable and you seem like very focused and into
We
the
liked
job.
that you
had
didn't-
a good
we
resume.
liked that you
had good
didn't like the
recommendations.
show.
We liked that you didn't know the show.
You didn't know the show. That
was
was
like-
huge
Oh,
for
didn't
us.
know the show is different than didn't like the show.
Yeah.
Didn't know the show.
Didn't know the
I
show.
love it if you were like,
Well,
I've listened. I don't care for it.
Now I don't care for it.
Well, you're a big Dougboys fan, right?
Yeah, I am. Like him quite a bit.
No, we didn't know you were out of your mind, which is its own thing. But it's
Yes.
great.
As you're wearing.
Let me ask you this. I did thank you for stopping in. Do you have any opinions on Zankou Chicken?
We used to get it for lunch a lot. I will say the garlic sauce makes your breath smell for like 3 weeks afterwards.
Yes, 100%.
So just be careful if you're having the garlic cream.
Yeah.
You might,
It stays with you.
Yeah, you might want to.
Yeah. So vis-a-vis kissing, it can be a real issue.
Yes.
Which Mitch ate so much of it yesterday. I just don't think he was worried about it.
I really did eat quite a bit of it. Also, you make a good point in that me and Weiger are calling you out of your mind, and we look the way
It's
we
true,
do right
yeah.
now.
What
But it is
It's
true. I went to Amelia's birthday this weekend, and she
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
it was
thank you.
piss themed.
Yep.
Yes, that's
Of
where I
course.
saw Anna at my piss themed
Okay,
birthday
got it.
party.
Okay, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and I baked a urinal cake.
Amazing.
And it was actually, Mitch said it was pretty good.
It was
Wow,
pretty
that's
good.
good.
It was pretty
It
good.
was
I have a
Pillsbury.
urinal-based question, if you don't mind. And I do want to get back to this, but it occurs to me that maybe this is the place.
Mhm.
Why sometimes do you see that a bar or restaurant has put ice in the
Yeah.
urinal?
My understanding is that is an attempt to disperse smell, but it doesn't actually work. It's
Oh.
like it's like people think
I
it works,
see.
but it doesn't.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Thank you.
To me, I think an owner loves ice cold piss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Emma worked in a bar. You might have some insight into this.
That was my understanding. Was it's supposed
Smell.
to make it
Okay.
not as stinky?
Yeah.
I don't think it actually works. I also think some places use it to avoid like splashback. Like it's like the
Oh,
same
sure.
purpose
Oh,
of like
that's
a
good.
urinal cake, but
Okay.
like
I'll say this: it's fun to try to melt the ice a little bit when
Sure.
you're peeing on it. I think that's kind of
This
fun.
is a fun game.
It's a fun
that's a
game in a
blast.
way.
You're always looking for fun in the bathroom. You're like, oh, I gotta piss, but it's so boring.
Okay, petition to bring ice to toilets too, so we could get in on this action as well. I want to melt some ice.
I think you
Feels like-
should.
like a good time.
It feels like you're gonna have a lot of trouble maybe flushing.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
great
really
point.
I
Amelia,
didn't think about that.
which for you in
I don't
history,
But you know what? They should make urinal-based toilets for women. You know what I mean? Like, if we gotta
People are
just
gonna
pee,
shit in there.
urinal-based
People are
toilets.
just gonna fucking shit.
Wait,
in
that's
there.
just what is that? Wait, break that down. A urinal-based toilet. So it's a toilet
you mean
just
like so
for
girls
women
can
to
stand
piss
up and
in.
pee?
no,
Really
you
think
mean
that through, Mitch.
You mean a sit down? You mean a low
This
flow
is why
water
we're Batman
or
and the
waterless
Joker.
sit down thing
yes,
that's
a
just for
waterless
urine?
sit down. You just take a piss in there,
But
but
this
people
is
are
the
going
thing,
to
people are gonna
in it.
shit
But
in
people
there.
are gonna shit the minute you get in position. I don't know about
Here's-
you, but the minute I sit down, even if I fully was just intending to piss, stuff's happening. Again, I'm 50. So it can come on quick.
I think that if you raise the toilet up a bit, the bottom of the toilet is up higher, people aren't going to,
I think the Doughboys are definitely the people to revolutionize toilets.
I think that there should be water-free toilets.
Wait, though, because if it's higher, people are gonna not want to shit in it.
Yeah.
What
What
do you
if-
have
what
to
about
climb
logic?
onto it, or
What if it was what if it was just instead like there was a toilet you could sit and do what your business on, but there was just like you could also
like benches.
a bench or just like a hole in the floor that you could just piss into or
Yes.
piss onto the
don't they have those in other countries?
Yeah,
like the
exactly.
squat toilets.
The squat
like it is
toilet,
just
essentially,
basically a
yeah.
hole in the floor.
Now we're talking.
but then it's just a toilet anyway.
Yeah. But then you could shit in it too, and it'd be fine, right?
Yeah.
You ever seen those Roman communal toilets? They just
What?
had like basically like big like This was
Just a modern day thing?
No, this was back in
trough?
the day. They had basically like a big trough that people would like all
Is
go
this
to like.
part of that trend of people being like, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
I think about this specifically.
Which is,
Yeah.
for me, I don't know, 0.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm a
Yeah, I don't-
0
I'm-
on the
yeah,
Roman
I'm-
Empire. I don't think about it
a
at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I've given some thought into how they pissed and shit, and they had like
Well,
a
they
big.
also had the vomitorium.
They had the vomitoriums, but they were there. It was.
What?
Wait,
they had
what?
a big. Yeah, you would go and you would binge on a bunch of food like the Doughboys did, but instead of keeping it into your body, they would like vomit it up so they could eat more.
Jesus.
Yeah.
and so
Fucking
they could live
nasty.
probably healthier lives.
But anyway, they had these big like they're basically kind of bench seating, and
How
you
have
would
we
go
never
in-
played the vomitorium? I feel like we should.
That should be
on
the
that.
name of the next Doughboys tour. The vomitorium.
So people would squat over these benches and like shit into these big troughs, and like it was like connected to an aqueduct or something, and it was like pretty gross, but it was hygienic for the day. But the thing that really grosses me out is that their equivalent of toilet paper is that they had sticks with sponges on them that were sterilized with vinegar, and people would just like reach behind them and like wipe their ass with a sponge and then just like plunge it back into the holder
Now
like it was
we're
a communal toilet
talking.
brush.
That
You
is
like that? That's
disgusting.
fucking nasty.
I like that.
That's going to be the theme of Amelia's next birthday.
Sticks and sponges. Were there piss themed drinks?
I was chugging
This is
piss out
a
of
great question.
out of a medical grade.
Oh.
That her
Like
nurse,
Urine
a sample
collection,
cup?
yeah.
a
okay.
friend who worked in a hospital brought it for
But
me.
clarify what you meant, because you said you were chugging piss. You weren't
Yes.
actually drinking urine.
There's
Correct.
There's so many things that are right now being clipped for drops. So many. To be clear, you weren't drinking piss. Drinking piss. Drinking piss. Piss. Chugging piss. Like that's all that's happening right
I'm
now.
a piss house. All right.
No, you did, but you did the melody, so now you
Now
have a
it's-
license.
now it's-
That's
now-
right.
now
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
Well, now it's definitely a.
God
it's
damn it, we have to
happening.
license Brick House just for this fucking drop. Drop King's he owes them so much money.
Did Drop King leave?
Yeah, they went to go to a bar nearby.
Understandable.
Makes sense.
I don't know. Watching a silent Doughboys episode sounds like the best way to watch
Yeah.
it.
Watching quietly through the window while the Joker, while sweaty Joker and Batman.
Yeah.
The alternative was them like peering in through this, and I was like, that kind of might feel like animals in a zoo sort of
Right.
situation. It might,
Typical
right?
Thursday.
That would feel
Yeah, and I mean it's not exactly it's Buster Keaton stuff going on in here. I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, we look more
not
We
classic
insane.
should be
physical
doing
comedy.
more Buster Keaton stuff.
should.
I will
Now that we're
say
on
we
video.
should get some ladders in here. We need a bunch of like really big physical things to interact with. A buggy, a train.
We have more Zankou to discuss. Amelia, thank you for stopping by. I do want to
What a
ask
delight.
you. I do want to
Thank
ask you
you,
before
thank
you
you.
go. Before we go to break, do you have a fork score for
on Zankou.
Zankou? Yeah.
I will give Zankou a 4.5.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, not fun.
4.5
Interesting.
from Amelia.
I tend to be
Your
very
score doesn't count.
generous when it comes to fork scores.
Mhm.
Interesting.
It doesn't.
I
This
give
is
him
not.
out.
This is not an official score.
Yeah, this is not a canonical score.
Yeah, of course not.
Just a tease of
I'm-
what's to come right after this break. Mitch, the holidays are right around the corner, and while it's great to get gifts for the people you love, it's also a time to give back to those less fortunate, and I'm not just talking about people in need, but kitty cats too.
Wise, you know I love that. I rescue my cats, so I'm a big advocate for people rescuing kittens in need. Our next sponsor is a brand that Wally, Irma, and I love, mainly for their food, but also because they donate to the Humane Society.
This podcast is sponsored by Smalls.
If you're listening to this show, you know that my cats will go kooky without their Smalls. Smalls cat food is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find in your fridge, and it's delivered right to your door.
Smalls recently kicked off a partnership with the Humane Society. They've donated over $1 million worth of food to help cats through the Humane Society, and they even give you a chance to donate at checkout.
Whether you donate $3 for treats, $5 for vaccines, or $7 for spaying or neutering.
Mitch, I remember how stinky and smelly your old cat food was. I used to leave your house smelling like cat food.
You know what? I think you smelled better. But,
Come on.
you know, I feel better knowing I'm feeding my cat real food, Wags, and not burnt kibble, and you smelled delightful.
Aw.
I can finally open a packet of cat food and not get nauseous. I actually recognize the ingredients in a packet of Smalls food because it's simple stuff, Wags.
The difference that Smalls makes is real. After making the switch to Smalls, 78% of cat owners reported their cats had shinier and softer fur, and 90% reported overall health improvements. That's a big deal.
And with Smalls, you can adjust or cancel anytime, easily skip shipments, switch up recipes, and add on goodies based on cats' needs and preferences. Wags, remember how shiny Wally and Irma's coats were? You came over, you had Wally in your hands, and it shot right out of your hands.
That's right.
He was on the fan.
He was having a ball up there.
He was.
Is your cat food giving back to cats in need? Smalls is, so they want you to give Smalls a try and ditch kibble forever. Head to smalls.com/doughboys and use promo code doughboys at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping.
That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use our code Doughboys for 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code Doughboys for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. Do it.
If you take a look at search trends, interest in learning new language is only increasing over time. And there tends to be a big spike in the fall because it's the perfect time to pick up a new hobby, like learning a new language. And with Babbel, you can start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks, just in time to show off at the holidays.
Wow, Wags, this fall you can start speaking a new language with Babbel. Why Babbel? Because it works.
Instead of paying hundreds of dollars for a private tutor or fooling yourself with language apps that are little more than games, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are designed by over 150 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel is designed by real people for real conversations. All of Babbel's tips and tools for learning a new language are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based teaching.
Mitch, as a midlife goal, I've tried to learn a new language, and you know, I've tried all the different apps, I've tried YouTube tutorials, I've tried online classes. Babbel's courses help you learn real-life conversation skills. It's so easy to pick up on how to order food, ask for directions, speak to merchants, and you don't have to consult a language app when you're on the go.
Well, Wags, studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove Babbel is better, so they're making your point for you. For instance, one study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college.
With over 10 million subscriptions sold, Babbel is real language learning for real conversations. Here's a special limited-time deal for our listeners to get you started right now. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/doughboys.
One semester of college, and you know, Wags? No hangovers. Get 55% off at babbel.com/doughboys, spelled BABBEL.com/doughboys. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Welcome back to Doughboys, talking Zankou Chicken with Zooks. All right, it's the time in the show for the fork scores. I feel like we haven't gotten into the food quite enough, but we kind of need to get there procedurally.
I'm shaking my head at you because I just said we had drama this year, and then you were confused about what it was.
I didn't know what you're talking about.
I will say, Hanford did send me episode 400.
Wow.
So I
Handman.
listened. Handman said, Zooks, you gotta listen to this. Get ready to laugh.
We gave him the Grizzly Man treatment with Hanford, where you said you must never, you must never. I guess he did listen to it.
Well, also, you sent it to Hanford. Susser was supposed to do that.
Was supposed to be the only one.
And then you also sent it to Hanford.
Again, I will. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Recall Susser. We got to recall Susser.
Yeah.
We do got to recall
Absolutely
Susser.
should not be commissioner anymore. And I'm throwing my hat into the ring. I'm running.
Wow.
I think you would. Look, I'll say this. You would be so out so fast if you were on our text message thread for a day. Am I wrong, Wise?
No, I think you're right.
No,
Absolutely
it's
right.
Please take me off of this chain.
Susser at least has gotten to the point where he just ignores it completely and then will chime in and be completely unhelpful.
Yes.
Like
Susser not here, I assume, because there's no food for him to snack on. He's not trying to grab in on something where he's usually here hiding in the background eating all the snacks.
We're eating steak and cheeses at 5:30, so
nice.
I wonder if he will show up for that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Well,
When
hello
we-
to Sus.
When there is free food like that, he does usually make an
He'll
appearance.
usually pop in and crash.
In fact, sometimes when we don't invite him at all, he'll show up.
Is there any other food stuff we haven't touched on? Because we didn't really talk about the kebab plate. I actually hadn't had the lule kebab, which is the ground beef kebab before. I think it's
some of mine. I got a
kebabs. You got the kebab combo.
Look, we can quickly run down of what we got. We got some French fries. I thought the French fries were great. I got a combo plate with shish kebab, which is the steak, and the lul kebab, which was. I didn't do any chicken as my main, which I've never done.
Fascinating. But you did say that you wanted to try stuff you hadn't normally done. Yes. So that is understandable.
Which I had falafel before I had chicken tarna. I really don't know if I really don't. If I had the rotisserie before, it was like a bite of someone else's. So
what'd you think? Because you did have it.
Because we got half a rotisserie chicken, and I thought it was great. Yeah. It's really, really good and juicy.
We had a
fantastic.
chicken tarna plate and what was it? Was it a
chicken
shawarma?
Chicken tarna and shawarma combo.
A lamb
plate.
shawarma?
Yes, yeah.
Chicken also can have worms, by the way, just like the conversation.
Everything can have worms.
Yeah, that's
in
a good
it.
point. That's a great point.
Apples can have worms.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's a great point. I forgot worms can. They can get into places.
Oh yeah, worms are all over the place, man.
Worms are
fucking rotten with worms.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
I should have thought that. I should have thought more about worms in a way.
I don't think so.
But there's.
I sit in this. Let's really examine this. You don't have plenty of things to apologize for. Not thinking through where worms are, certainly not one of them.
The rotisserie my mom was like, she was like, rotisserie chicken can have worms was like a big thing she said to me one time. For me, look, there's two things that we have to talk about.
So is the reason that you don't eat the rotisserie chicken at Zankou or anyplace else because your mom told you that rotisserie chicken has worms?
No, no, I'm sorry.
And whatever mom says goes?
No, that's... She was.
My mummy said no chicken because of worms.
I love rotisserie chicken, and she was like, sometimes it can have worms, That's what she was just warning me of that.
I don't know. I don't have context for that. I don't know how common that is. Maybe that's stuff that's sitting at room temp for a while.
You're not going to get it at Zankou anyway, so it doesn't matter. But with the half chicken was delicious and juicy.
What do you think you're more likely to have happen at Zankou? Be murdered by an owner or worms?
That
based on history, I would not say
probably
worms.
The former.
Yeah.
This is what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
It's the spookiest month. That's
right.
We're not a true crime podcast.
We're not?
We will be once the show is over.
Yeah.
Suddenly, this episode just segues into an episode of Serial. Elise Spiegel's here? Hang on a second.
The Zankou murders are murder, one of the spookiest things of all. There's something very human about it, I guess. I mean, that it's real.
Well said, Mitch.
Murder, one of the spookiest things.
There's something very human about it.
There's something very human about a spooky murder. That's what police say all the time when they come upon a crime scene. Ooh, this looks spooky.
Look, this is
human spooky.
That's goblins, scary, but
sure.
It's
a different kind of scary.
Banshees,
sure.
The devil, which I told you, I've kind of lost. The Shining has become more of my scary. I've kind of lost my faith in the way like Father Karras does in Exorcist, where the devil has become less scary to me. Over
you
the
become
last
less
couple of
religious,
years.
so you're less afraid of Lucifer.
Mm-hmm. Even though
you're less afraid of the literal devil, but you are afraid more now of madness.
Yes, going insane.
Like The Shining. Yes.
That is a scarier thing. I think it was Paul Rust who said that to me. He was like,
also,
you go
real.
Insane. Yes, real.
Also, of the two, one is real.
Oh, yes, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. You don't want to say. I'm willing to say.
Matt, look, it's murder is real. That's what I'm trying to say. Murder is real.
Wow,
okay.
Bold take. Bold. What a take.
And this is
the
our
fucking
spooky
message boards are going crazy. Mitch on record admitting murder's bad.
I'm trying to say in our spookiest month, we haven't talked about this that much, but up here, this is a place that the lore of this story probably haunting to that family forever. That has to deal with this thing about their restaurant. I mean, just for what happened, but also because of the fact that it's now like a thing that people associate
It's
with
attached to the
restaurant.
brand. People
absolutely.
say Zankou.
Yes.
You have Zankou Chicken. You heard of the Zankou Chicken murders?
Always.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
part of their legacy, and it's unfortunate because this place is so good.
Yes.
But
Which,
yeah,
by the way,
beloved.
and so beloved.
And it's such a it has like a real in LA people wear the t-shirts. It's a beloved institution in a
Yeah.
way that I feel like that you're right that it's tethered to this grisly story is I think also part of what makes it attractive to people, you know.
Right.
I think as far as LA go, obviously I think the OJ thing is in a different category, but the Manson murders, the Manson murders, that Los Feliz murder house, and then this are like three of like the grisly murder stories you hear when
Black Dahlia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Black Dahlia.
And so you're saying the OJ stuff is not as grisly as that?
No, it is very grisly.
You're why are you taking OJ out of the equation?
I shouldn't take OJ out of the equation. I should. It's the.
You mean because he was acquitted?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you shouldn't be making a hierarchy of LA murders. Maybe that's the issue.
There's a big five.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Black Dahlia,
Yep.
OJ, Manson murders, Zankou. What was? Oh, is it just a big four?
I think we're missing something. I think there's probably a
Los
big one we're
Feliz
not thinking
house.
of right now.
Los Feliz
the
murder
murder
house,
house.
Yeah.
which is very spooky. Did you ever visit the house before?
I parked in front of it once by accident
man.
to go to someone's house who lives in that neighborhood. And then when I was going back to my car, I was walking with people and they were like, that's the murder house. And it was chilling. I'd never seen it.
I am also weirdly live close to all these things. I'm in like the Bermuda Triangle of Zankou's not far away. I live pretty close to the Manson murder house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I live to. Well, I shouldn't have said which one. But I live, and then the Black Dahlia. She supposedly disappeared on that house on Franklin.
Oh, I don't know this.
The Jaws house on Franklin. She was supposedly, which is not far from Zankou. It's
I don't
like
think I knew that.
It's like 2 blocks away from Zankou.
The big one that I think that is
The
big,
OJ one is on the west side.
yeah, but the big one just from growing up in the LA area that I remember from when I was a kid that was like a huge like crime epidemic was the Night Stalker serial killings,
yeah.
and that was like a big thing that was like that was I think of that as like a big LA murder.
I think LA has a lot of murder.
I think so,
I think if we've barely scratched the surface. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
but there's also the Big Five.
there's also, of course, the Big Five. And let's make a t-shirt of that at kinship.com/doughboys.
Or birdfuck.com.
At birdfuck.com, even better. The Big Five. And it's one of those ones that's like Manson and Black Dahlia. And it's one of those list shirts.
Yes, right.
That's so horrifying. That shirt.
And then at the end it just says, and Doughboys 2025.
What monster would wear that shirt? I guess our listeners probably would wear it. But that Los Feliz one with the late great Harris Wills, we went after a party at the Birthday Boys house. We all went to that house and we looked in.
Just to kind of creep around. Oh yeah.
It was horrifying because there's stuff from the 60s in there. But yes, this weird thing that is the dark side of this theme month.
That's right.
Is this thing that will always be associated with this restaurant, which is like, to me, is like, if you come to LA, it's like there with, like everyone's like, you got to try In-N-Out Burger. I'm like, Zankou is there with In-N-Out Burger to me.
Sure,
Of
yeah.
like
I agree.
a fast food
far
place
as
you've got
local
to
chains.
try.
Yeah, and I feel like less so now, but I feel like when I was first coming here and first going to Zankou a lot, the other similarly sized and franchised was Paquito Mas,
Oh yeah.
which has
That's a good analog.
has kind of
I love
fallen
it.
away for me.
It has a little
Interesting.
bit.
It's
yeah.
not as good. To me at least, and I haven't had it maybe in 2 years now at this point, or maybe a little bit more, maybe pre-pandemic. But like that's another place that I used to go all the time.
Yeah.
That I used to be like, it's great food, it's consistent, I know, and then it started to be less so.
Yeah.
Similarly, like I used to go to the other Zankous more and had enough bad meals that I was like, it's only the Normandy one.
Did we go with Dan Gore was that what we did for?
That sounds right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like when
To
we
Zankou
reviewed-
or to
Paquito
Paquito
Mas.
Mas?
No, we
Paquito, yeah.
reviewed it for the chain.
Dan Gore listening. When I have lunch with Dan Gore, which will be tomorrow,
Wow.
we will talk almost exclusively about Doughboys,
Wow.
Oh my God.
which is all we talk about when we hang out. Doughboys and the TV show alone.
Man, Alone is scary.
Oh, it's
That's
the
some
best.
spooky, scary
The
stuff.
fucking best. It's so scary, so spooky.
What is that? What happens on Alone?
These guys are just left alone, and they have to film themselves. But it's a survival scenario. The thing, and what you were talking about, like the Shining factor, they slowly lose their mind from having no contact with anyone.
They're out there for months and months and months
Out there for
in the
months and
middle of like the Canadian wilderness with bears and wolves and all sorts of shit. And you're watching people first get all the pieces and parts of necessary survival, water, food, shelter, all that. And once they have all that, they just go insane.
Yeah.
Because they're alone for months at a time.
And the way the show works, it's like based on who
Alone and
lasts the
Doughboys
longest.
are the two things that you guys talk about.
Yeah.
Feels
Absolutely.
like there's overlap there somehow.
Oh.
Do you have any Boy Scout skills, like when you're watching this? Because I always feel like
I can
when I'm
make
watching
a
this,
fire pretty easily without a fire starter.
I would not say that I could make a fire pretty easily, so that's impressive. I have a few different, like I have some survival skills, but so few that I watch this and I'm like, there's no. I
can't
last
do
like
knots
a day,
anymore.
And then tap out. Yeah.
I can't do like all the stuff I used to know.
Right.
It has pretty much gone. You know,
I used to know a lot of knots. I used to know a lot
sailing.
of knots from sailing.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, I feel like growing up in New England, summers were like, let's go out on this boat, or we stole a boat. Let's go out in this boat until they find us.
My dad used to take a boat out to Nut Island by himself.
You've talked about
Just
this.
a nut?
Yeah.
That's what he used it for, I think. By the way,
Now, was that the real name of the island, or is that what your dad called it?
to see a fucking, he's like, it's out there, a big fucking white island.
I will say, in the hunt, taunting me just offshore was something called Egg Rock.
Whoa.
I was like, you motherfucker.
Did you ever go to Egg Rock?
No, I didn't, because it was like a swim.
Okay.
But it was like a half a mile. And
man.
I'm not a strong swimmer like that in the ocean. No way.
Here's a spooky thing. Did you ever go to the Lady in Black, George's Island?
No, I don't even know what it is.
George's Island was this South Shore? A Civil War like prison camp or whatever, I think. And it was like in the Boston Harbor. It was George's Island, and then there was like the Lady in Black haunted the island.
Wow.
Yeah.
In my town, there was something called the Witch's House, or the Witch House. Sorry. And it was this weird stone structure that's in someone's yard. It's on private property, but it's like this stone structure that's 100 plus years old or whatever. And underneath it is a room or a space that women who were fleeing the witch trials in Salem were taken to Nahant and hidden underneath this structure.
Whoa.
Full disclosure, this could be apocryphal. I might be trading in a story that my town has a history to it that isn't real, but that's what I grew up understanding, was that it was a refuge for people who were being pursued in Salem from the witch trials. We
tried to get them all, but we couldn't get them all, unfortunately.
I've seen a lot of old pictures, and you do appear to be. We also had in the hunt at the northern
Mitch
tip.
is immortal when you're doing this.
Mitch is like shining.
Yeah.
Like Jack Nicholson
Right,
was shining. He's been here forever.
A witch curse, man.
And now I'm just podcasting for hundreds of years.
By the way, I figured out what Alone and Doughboys have in common. I think the theme of silence, I think, is probably.
Yes.
All right, we got to get to our fork scores.
Oh, goddamn.
So
I know we're having fun over here.
we could not get to our fork score.
Never score.
We were talking comedy stuff earlier, which was fun.
Yeah, I'll talk about anything with you guys.
The Aspen Comedy Fest. I wish that came back.
Is that not back?
No, that's been gone for years.
Wow.
Great. It was I think the closest you get now is like New Faces at Montreal. Aspen was a festival for like sketch comedy as long as you didn't have agents, or where it was all like a showcase for new talent.
Right.
But all sketch instead of stand-up. So it was incredible. Shows, that I saw there were great. I put up a show there. It was awesome. HBO ran it. It was also a mess, which I think is why it stopped. But it was awesome.
Wow.
I'm trying to get him overseas. He's not going to go overseas. It's fine. But
what do
you
you
mean
need
to
me
tour?
Yeah. Why do you need me to go overseas?
It'd
you
be
can
fun
go
to do
overseas.
Edinburgh or something with you.
Oh, Edinburgh would be fun. I'm surprised you haven't traveled more. Not even I guess I'm not surprised. I was thinking about it, and then I was like, what am I talking about? Absolutely not.
Yeah, look at him. It's not going to happen. Anyways.
Does Natalie like to tour? I mean, not to tour, sorry, to travel.
Yeah, she's into traveling.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So she
We'll
just
go
takes
places.
trips without you.
Not yet. Not that I know of.
So it's not like Natalie's going on a trip to Italy with friends that you're just like, hey, buddy, pass.
She has said, I'm going to be gone for a while, and then just disappeared for a couple weeks.
Now, is she dressed up as Harley Quinn in her lab job today?
He's just answering the phone. Mr. J! Hey, Mr. J! Puddin'? Does she call you Puddin' at home now?
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
If I asked her to call me Puddin', just the stare I would get back. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wait, how did she already have divorce papers ready to go? Where did she get these? These are notarized.
The only person yelling out for pudding in a house is Weiger's. Literal pudding. All right, we should review this.
Let's get to our fork scores. So here, Jason, you run the podcast. You know how this works. We'll each go around, but because give our closing thoughts, give it a score. But because it is the spookiest of months, we are doing this from 0 to 5 pitchforks. So Jason Mantzoukas, your thoughts, your fork score, your pitchfork score.
You know, here's the thing. Zankou Chicken, when you emailed me to suggest we do Zankou, boy, was I delighted.
Yeah.
Both to be invited to be on one of my favorite podcasts.
God bless you.
And also to cover a restaurant that I love and that I frequently eat at or order from. So Dynamite stuff. Had a great time hanging out with you guys yesterday for lunch. Everything I ate was a home run. I love Zankou. I mean, I will caveat this with, do I think there are things that could be slightly better at Zankou? Yes. Like one of them being like, I think they could have slightly better pita bread. Like they just have kind of prepackaged
100%
pita bread. You know what I mean? Which is, by the way, totally fine. It's not bad by any means, but like that's a room for improvement. Little things like that. Still 5 pitchforks.
Wow, 5 pitchforks.
Pitchforks. Like, and I'm maybe it's even on fire. You know, like really just like going
5 flaming pitchforks.
5 pitchforks, each of which though is the website Pitchfork, which rates music on a scale of 1 to 10. So this is 5 pitchforks with a perfect 10 rating on the album that they are reviewing.
Wow. I love it.
So it's a classic 5-10 split.
Wow.
This is, I love this.
What a score.
My first thought is, Wags, you didn't have to come to the restaurant dressed as a Joker yesterday.
That was yesterday.
There was no need to do that yesterday. But I love Zankou. I think it is so, it's just so appropriately LA and it's so unique. Like when I first had it, I was like, I've never had a place like this before. I hadn't. Mm-hmm. It was my introduction to restaurants like that. I know that there's a lot of Middle Eastern food like that. There's a place called oh God, now I forget the name of it.
Here?
Yeah. I had little kebab, mini kebab just recently, which was great.
Oh, I've never heard of it. That's the name of the restaurant?
Scaffs, yeah. Scaffs is in Glendale.
Okay.
But I just tried mini kebab the other day.
But are these aren't changed on the same scale?
No,
these
they're
like,
not.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
they
saying.
They are other like Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern. Mini kebab is fantastic.
Oh, nice.
A guy named Armin works there. You got to try it out. So good.
Wait, is it Armin Weitzman?
It's Armin Weitzman.
Wow.
Yonkers, welcome. I love you, Armin. I miss you. And then Scaffs.
Are we just sending out personal messages now to friends? Hey, I miss you.
I miss him. He went through. You know, we almost Armin. We've said this. Armin almost died.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a
health
scare.
That.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I miss you too, Armin.
Yeah, he's got to come back around. But
good.
Armin Weissman now owns Mini Kebab. This is what he's been doing this time.
Let's put that out in the world.
Mini Kebab is great. You should try it. Scaffs is great. You should try it. Also, I had dinner last night. I know this isn't on Middle Eastern food, but I went back to Quarter Sheets last night, and it's the best pizza in LA.
Wow,
Aaron over there.
You had it the night before?
No, I've had it just once this week.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've tried it yet, but
I haven't.
You got to try it.
Okay.
It's the best in LA. That in Prime is my second favorite.
Is there a bar pizza in LA? Is there a pizza place that does a bar pizza?
Funny enough, you say it. They serve a bar pizza on Wednesdays and Sundays.
That's interesting. Okay.
What's wrong? I can't give a shout out to a place.
I love that. I love that you're giving a shout out to a local business.
You also, when I was at Zankou and I threw in a sandwich, you gave me a look after it was the tri-tip shawarma.
I'm glad you got the sandwich. I enjoyed the sandwich. I ate half of it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good call to
tri-tip
get the sandwich.
shawarma sandwich.
The order gotten pretty big at that point, and it was the longest I'd ever waited at Zankou for a meal. That's okay.
Yes.
We
Which
tasted
was
a lot
still
of things.
10 minutes.
Yes, it wasn't that
exactly.
long.
Yes.
We got a Tarna and
Weiger forced to have a conversation with us for 10 minutes before he could focus intently on the food.
We're not
Sweating.
monetizing this.
like the Jordan Peele meme where he's just sweating so much.
When's that food coming? Must have conversation. Hey, buddy.
But we had the Tarna and beef shawarma plate, which was your recommendation. We had some
Which were
falafel.
Great.
We had a lot of great stuff. This is my introduction to that world. Wags, I know that I just did it for Guisados, but I think once again, this is one of the special places in my mind that has to get 6
forks.
Wow.
in parentheses 6 flaming pitchforks.
Okay, can I do
You
something?
really aren't afraid
I'm
of the
going to do
devil.
something instead. Can
Yeah.
I revisit?
Yeah.
I caveated my score,
Uh-huh.
not really realizing, even though I listened to the Guisados episode,
Yeah.
I'm also going to do 6.
Wow.
Now, we do have the potential
Mhm.
for an organic 666 here,
That's true.
All right, then I'll take away my
which
parentheses.
must have
Mhm.
a titular, it must have a title, right? Like the Hand Holding Club,
Right.
Golden Plate Club. What is 666?
The
Like
Devil's
the Devil's Meal?
The Devil's Meal.
That's
I like
pretty
that. Devil's Bargain is
The Devil's Bargain, the
yeah.
Devil's Chicken.
the Devil's Chicken. I think is
Devil's
probably the best
chicken
one.
is pretty good.
But you also know he's now going to be like 5 1/4 forks.
Of
or
course,
some bullshit.
which is he should do just to infuriate the fan base.
No, I don't. I'm not looking to infuriate anybody. Look, I absolutely.
Do the Doughboys fans have a name? The way Blankies refer to themselves as Blankies.
Oh, right.
Does the Doughboys fan base rather have a identifying moniker?
I think it's incels.
I think it's Virgin.
Stay strong, Virgin. I think the Virgin Army should stay strong. This is sincere.
You know, somewhere there's an intelligence briefing that's like, well, there is apparently a lot of chatter about a Virgin Army. The Proud Boys are on the decline, but the Virgin Army from the Doughboys is a big thing.
The Virgin Army, we're safe. We're not doing anything crazy.
Yeah.
Look, as a guy who's afraid that the Texter ball was going to split at Ithaca if you graduate a virgin, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You got nothing to be afraid of out there.
The Virgin Army is storming the McDonald's.
I think
Stay strong.
Our fan base
Boston
is kind
Strong
of
Virgin Army.
our fan base is kind of cleaved into Spoon Nation and
that's
Burger
right, and
Brigade.
Burger Brigade,
But
yeah.
we actually don't have, I don't think, a holistic name for the fan base at
Yeah.
large. Maybe we should come up with one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel unless it happens organically,
Yeah.
don't force it. But I'm curious what people would.
We should call them Blankies.
Yeah,
too.
they're blank.
Those guys are going to get mad at us. You're also Blankies
How
now.
about the real Blankies?
real Blankies. The real Blankies.
The Doughboys fans are called the real Blankies.
We're spelled REEL.
Yes.
Like a film reel.
And we name that for the face they make when they listen to the podcast.
And then you guys are referred to as the two buddies.
Okay, so Zankou Chicken.
It's so uniquely LA.
And by the way, if
I
you're a
agree.
Doughboys fan and are not listening to Blank Check, especially the recent episode with the Doughboys, you're a fucking idiot.
It's a great
Go and
podcast.
download it, you piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie deep dive podcast. We love those
in my mouth. I
dudes.
agree.
I listen to it
Okay.
every week.
Citrus Batman agrees. Co-signed by Citrus Batman.
Oh yeah, shit. I meant to have it down when I said 6 forks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit, that's
I love
good.
that.
We're gonna edit that in. 6 pitchforks. Don't edit it in. It's fine.
Okay, so here's
Wait,
the
I
thing.
feel like it would be better if you prompted it, like, what's your fork score, Mitch or Batman? And then,
Okay.
because then it's really just like, I'm Batman. It's that version of that line.
What's your fork score, Batman?
6 forks.
I mean, this is a home run. I mean, if we're not doing it's a shock to me that we're an hour and 45 minutes in, and for the first time, you guys have spoken to each other as
That's
Joker
a good
and Batman. Shame on us.
Do you want to know how I got these scars?
Was it at Zankou?
I was eating chicken. Boy, this is a tough one because I was coming in hot with I was even thinking of going first, just establishing a 5 pitchforks baseline because I feel strongly about this place. I love it. I think it's great. Does it make that 6 forks threshold? My concern is that we are diluting the specialness of 6 forks by invoking it too often.
Look,
have you done it prior to
Gisados just
We
got
did
it, and once
Gisados,
before.
and Mitch gave once before to Bonchan.
That's it.
Okay.
I think Zankou is awesome. I think
Oh my God.
Here we go.
no, I really love it.
Classic Joker spoiler.
I think it belongs very much so in the Platinum Plate Club.
But not the devil's meal.
Yeah, is it the devil's meal? Is it the devil's chicken?
God damn it.
Take your time.
I guess in the spirit of the season, it would be appropriate for me to give 6 forks.
Yeah.
But in the spirit of the Joker,
Oh my God.
5 forks.
Oh, I'm so mad we only discovered Joker voice at the end of the show.
I'm not confident in it. Hey, it's time for a segment. I got a food-related example. Hey, welcome to the Platinum Plate Club Zankou Chicken. Wow, what a
Huge.
great chain. Here's the thing. If you come to
Incredible.
LA, people ask us all the time, where do I go for food in LA? This is a chain restaurant podcast. We talk about chains. If you want to hit up some of the chains we talk about, Mitch is absolutely right. Prioritize Zankou Chicken. Prioritize Gisados. Those places are LA institutions. One is from a bit further back. One is more recent. But these are places that you should not miss if you're interested in fast food being done right and being done in a very LA way. So
And
check
having
it out.
a great meal.
Having a great
that
meal.
is not going to break
Fantastic
the
meal.
bank.
Yes.
That is not going to make you feel disgusting.
Great point.
You know, and I'll throw In-N-Out in there as well.
Sure.
I think it's in terms of a LA only institution to visit. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have a great meal.
Yep.
Zankou, you're going to have a great meal. These are places that Gisados, you're not going to be disappointed
Right.
in any way, and you're not going to be bankrupted.
Exactly.
You know?
The affordability is huge, and that's why you see people in there wearing work uniforms, and that's why you see, fancy pants hipsters there. It's again, it cuts across class lines.
I'm trying to do like a long walk where it's just
It's hard. It's hard.
You're trying to do a long walk?
I think it's hard because we're talking about
While
like a
sitting
pretty, for Mitch to understand, I think it's pretty hard. Like we're talking about like Zankou is like a pretty blue collar
Yeah.
place. And it's
Oh
hard
my
for like hard for a private school boy
God damn it.
to understand like the true nature of
One
like
year.
a blue collar institution like Zankou where people are wearing their work
Sure,
clothes.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
because you were saying while we were waiting for our food, why is that guy all dusty?
I was trying to at your other job, you can't crank it in the bathroom, and then you're like, why so serious?
Jesus Christ.
That's what I was
That
trying
was
to get
a
to.
very long walk.
That's what I was
Holy
saying.
cow.
Hey, I've got a food-related exam, and Mitch and Zooks must guess if it's food fact or food fiction. It's Slop Quiz Trick or Treat Edition.
Wow.
So I'll give you some Halloween trivia. You decide if it's a trick, false, or a treat, true. And Amelia included this rule. If they say true, false instead of trick, treat, they unfortunately don't win the point, even if they're correct.
I'm sorry. Will you once again say it for me? I say
Yes. If something is true, you say it's a treat. If something is
I see.
false, you say it is a trick. Yes.
Okay.
And so I will read a fact.
You're right to
and you'll
question
determine
it.
if it's
it
Same.
is very
Yeah.
confusing.
yeah. You'll determine if it's a treat, meaning it's true, or if it's trick, meaning it's false. Am I trying to trick you with a
So
false
trick,
fact?
true, and treat, all TRs.
That's right.
I can't see this going wrong, so let's get it going.
All right, first up. Before jack-o'-lanterns were carved as pumpkins, the most commonly used root vegetable was turnips.
Jason,
Go for it.
trick.
Not a trick. It is true.
Mitch.
It is. No, you don't get to answer
Oh.
now. It's
It's
Batman.
either or.
Fuck.
No,
Wait a
it's usually
second.
you didn't say Batman.
Bruce. I mean Batman. Trick, treat, true.
This one is true. It has tied Mitch to the Irish legend of Stingy
Oh.
Jack, a drunkard who
Stingy Jack.
A drunkard who bargained with Satan and was condemned to roam the earth with a carved turnip lantern.
What a bummer.
That is some twisted Irish folklore.
I had a stingy Jack the other day.
Jesus Christ. Emma was so upset.
I like the idea of you looking down at your lap and being like, "Oh, I'm so stingy." You want to get nuts?
That's why it was stingy. It wasn't
good.
These nuts are stingy.
Okay,
Then
next up.
cooperate. Okay, here we go.
For 2018, Burger King released a nightmare burger with a green bun and claimed it would give people bad dreams. Having tested it with 100 people over 10 nights, the study revealed that the burger made no difference in the amount of nightmares.
Bitch, Babin. Treat.
No, this one is also a trick. This one is a trick. The other one was a treat. Those two. This is confusing. This was a trick. This is false. There was people who had the nightmare burger actually had 3.5 times more nightmares. More nightmares.
They were a
Isn't
little
that
full of
crazy?
shit.
What was I don't even know that there was a nightmare burger.
I remember this because
What
this
was
was the thing
the-
that would make your stool black.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I see. Oh, yeah, that would give me nightmares.
Yeah.
I'd be like, here we go.
We've also eaten a lot of things that can turn your stool a different color.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
It is shocking you're both still alive. Both from the dietary insanity that is this show and also that you haven't killed each other. That you guys haven't Zankou'd each other in a murder-suey situation.
Man, it's going to be a big 6.
All right, it's still
Manson, Dahlia, Doughboys.
still knotted up at 0. Number 3, in parts of New England, the night before Halloween is known as Hoodwink Night.
Jason?
Yeah.
Trick.
It is a trick. In New England, it's known as Cabbage Night, Mischief Night, Gate Night, or Devil's Night. So that one was false. So you get a point.
See, I would have said true because I just never. Oh, it's so hot. in that
It's
mask.
so it feels like anytime I hear about New England geography, because everything is so compressed there, and like it feels like there's so many different
I've heard
factions
Devil's
and
Night
regionalisms.
before.
That's the one I
I've
had
heard Devil's
too.
Night before, and my town had something called, which I thought was like universal, and maybe it is in some other towns, but we had something called the Horribles Parade, which was a parade through town where all the kids dressed up in their costumes and went and walked as the parade route of my town.
Wow.
You know, and it was like everybody was in crazy costumes, and it was just chaos.
Here's what I love with Halloween when you're just old enough that you don't have to go with your parents anymore, but before you're too old.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
great
And you go
time.
out with friends and
Oh,
you don't
man.
wear a full costume. You just wear like a mask.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm cool. One of the very first times that happened to me when I went out with my friends, teenagers drove by in a pickup truck throwing eggs at everybody. I got hit with an egg and had to go home.
Oh my God. I didn't even think of that until you just said, wow.
Got hit with an egg, had an allergic reaction, had to go home.
What a
and
nightmare.
take like Benadryl and an EpiPen and like do the whole thing.
Egging your house is like attempted murder. That's insane.
It is. Oh, that's a good point. Anybody who eggs my house, charged with attempted murder.
That's wild.
Wow. Did we just come up with a Hercule Poirot
Oh,
murdered by eggs?
we did spend quite a lot of time at lunch yesterday discussing Weiger's love of the Kenneth Branagh dog shit Poirot series
How
of
dare you.
movies. I was mystified by this reveal.
It was
I
also
think
funny
they're
because
a lot of fun.
he's like, the second one's really bad. So already, and she's like, I love the Alien series. Like, I hate aliens. Insane.
Death on the Nile's a rough watch, but the other two are a lot of fun. Yeah.
Strong disagree.
Okay. Next up. Halloween is the second biggest holiday for candy sales besides Christmas. Is this a trick or treat?
Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Trick.
Mitch, you are correct. It's knotted up at 1. Halloween has the biggest spike in
With a
candy sales out of
mouthful
any
of
holiday.
Tangelo.
Yeah.
Nature's.
Honestly, you've taken hours to eat a single Tangelo.
It was a
wild.
big Tangelo. Nature's candy.
Oh God.
Last piece.
It's one apiece as Mitch eats his final orange wedge. Roses are the iconic flower of Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, which are believed to attract lost souls with their vibrant appearance and help guide them home. So the thing we're centering on here is roses is the iconic flower
Okay.
of Dia de los
Wow.
Muertos.
This is one I'm going silent on because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Jason, I'll say that's a treat.
It is not a treat, it is a
God
trick.
damn it, Weiger.
It's marigolds.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I'm just guessing. By the way, I'm just guessing. I know none of this. I'm just guessing.
Yes.
What is the score now? Is it one apiece or is it 2-1?
I think it's one apiece.
I think
It's still one apiece.
Yeah.
Okay, next up. Number 6. Candy corn was originally called chicken feed.
Mitch, Batman. Fuck. Trick. No, treat.
You're going with treat?
Yes.
Treat is correct. Mitch has 2. Zooks has 1. Next up, Halloween dates back over 2,000 years to an ancient Celtic festival which marked the end of harvest season and the beginning of winter.
Treat.
Also correct. 2
right?
2.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
There is a bonus question about this, so we'll see if we get there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, number 8.
What was the guy's name? Whatever. Stubborn Jack. What was it?
Stubborn Jack.
Stubborn Jack.
Wait, or was it
No.
Skinny Jack?
No.
Stingy
No,
Jack.
Stingy Jack.
Stingy Jack.
Stingy Jack.
That should be a Jack in the Box burger. It's like kind of shitty.
It's it's like one pickle, a little bit of cheese.
Next one. It's 2 apiece. According to Retail Me Not, the 3 most popular Halloween candies in 2021 in this order were number 1, Reese's Cups, number 2, Kit Kat, and number 3, Snickers. Is this a trick or a treat?
Man, that's a great question. Also, we do most of our research on retailmenot.com. Batman. I haven't gotten it right once. Trick.
No, Mitch, that's a treat. That is true. Reese's Cups,
What was it? Reese's?
Kit Kat, and Snickers are the top
That's
3.
like I love the top 3. I mean,
like-
Reese's and Snickers are.
I can't eat a Snickers. It's got eggs, but I
Oh,
can
sure.
eat a
Does it
Reese's.
really?
Yeah, anything nougaty or anything like that is bad. But I can eat a Reese's and a Kit Kat, which I love, both of them.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Twix.
Oh, Twix
Ooh,
are
Twix
great.
are good.
Twix
That
is
has
with
no
caramel?
egg in it?
No, caramel and cookie are safe.
Oh.
Surprisingly.
You ever fuck with like a peanut butter Twix?
No, never.
I remember those from back in the day, and they discontinued them at a certain point.
Yeah.
I used
No, I
to
don't
like
think I
those a
ever had
lot.
one of
Yeah.
those.
Peanut butter
My-
cup, I
I-
think, is my favorite.
Twix was my favorite forever. And then I think now a better candy bar, it's not a Halloween, but is the Take 5.
Oh yeah, Take
5
is
is a lot of fun.
Home run.
Where are we in score?
Who knows?
All right.
Does
Next
it
up.
matter?
It absolutely matters to people listening to
I
this
think
podcast.
Zeus is up 3-2.
Zeus is up 3-2.
I think we might
okay.
be both at 2.
Vinod will no
People-
doubt have the correct
I was
score in the
gonna
dough
say, people on the dough scored
Yeah.
are no doubt freaking out.
Vinod, who maintains our wiki, will, I'm sure, have the correct score there.
Oh, yeah.
Next
Great
up.
man.
The sale, great dude. The sale, use, or possession of silly string on Halloween is illegal in Hollywood. Is this a trick or a treat?
Batman. Trick. A treat.
Treat.
Yeah.
You are correct. It was banned in 2004, and there's a $1,000 fine and or 6 months in jail for using
I wonder what
silly string in Hollywood.
precipitated that. I wonder if a singular event made
Yeah.
that happen.
Right.
That's a great question.
Like, why would you? Something has to be going catastrophic if you have to pass
Yeah.
a law
Yeah.
that says you can't do silly string.
Right. Yeah. What happened in 2003
A
in the
silly
string
actor.
world?
Yeah, I can't tell if they.
Oh, it was the Zankou silly string murders.
That's what it was. Final
Batman
one.
says-
It's 3-2.
I'm sorry, Weiger. Batman wants to say something.
Yeah, go on,
says,
Batman.
Don't do anything to our former President Trump's Hollywood star.
Oh, brother.
I guess
Batman,
he would be.
you've been MAGA Batman this whole
Yeah.
time.
I'm mad
He would be a
MAGA
fascist
Batman?
authoritarian type. Sort of a billionaire who got his inherited his wealth probably would be MAGA, so that tracks.
Yeah.
Next up, for Halloween 2022, Domino's Japan offered a Halloween roulette pizza where 2 random slices were laced with a low-grade laxative.
That's fucking crazy.
Wait, what?
For Halloween 2022, Domino's Japan offered a Halloween roulette pizza where 2
Man,
random
but
slices were
also-
laced with a
Okay,
low-grade laxative.
Jason, that trick.
Absolutely a trick.
Yeah.
But this is a real thing. The 2 slices instead had super spicy
Oh.
jolokia sauce,
Oh,
which
okay.
contains one of the hottest peppers in the world. So 2 secretly spicy slices,
Okay.
which is also a little
fun.
perilous. Yeah, that's fun.
If you vandalize the star, he will rebuild it better.
MAGA Batman. MAGA Batman storming the Capitol.
It would be a guy that looks like this.
Yeah. Black T-shirt
I'm
with a
shocked
cardboard.
there wasn't a MAGA
logo.
Batman
I know,
on
right?
January 6th.
There should have been.
Yeah, there should have been.
I will
Should've
say it is
gone.
weird that your Batman costume has an AR-15 pin.
Okay, does anyone want to guess the name of the Celtic holiday that dates back 2,000 years? This was a tiebreaker.
Samhain.
That is correct. It's apparently pronounced Samhain or Samhain.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Was that
correct.
the bonus question?
That's the bonus question.
You weren't saying this is the last question?
Sorry.
Zooks
And I
wins.
jumped right on it.
I would not have gotten it right. Zooks wins.
I only know
believe.
it because I had to say it for a role.
Wow.
I had to say it in something. I forget. This is years ago. And I saw it written, and I had to be told what it was and then how to pronounce it. And even still, I'd forgotten how to pronounce it until just now.
Yeah.
I auditioned for Frasier's son's friend. It's in Boston.
Yes.
The new Frasier.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
Didn't get it. But I
they're
auditioned
still
for
going to
it.
be in Boston, so you'll
You'll get
in
some
there.
opportunities.
I like that.
There you go.
One of the first shows, the first show I ever tested for in pilot season. And when you test for something, it means like you are in front of the network. You are one of the final people in consideration for a role. The first thing I ever tested for was a Boston set show called Townies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was just the only people left were clearly people who were from Boston, who could do Boston accents.
Yeah.
And that was the whole audition. Still didn't get it. But it was like, I was like, oh, this is delightful that I get to just be a Boston asshole for this whole audition.
And now the voice of Duncan.
I have been the voice of Duncan. I am no longer the voice of
What?
Duncan.
Wow.
Currently.
Wow.
Currently.
What the fuck?
I think it's just done. I think it just finished. Yeah.
Wow.
Probably by now. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But it was, no.
I don't feel like we never talked about
Let's
it on the
get
pod.
into it. I mean, when I tell you, I don't know that my dad has ever been more proud of me because for those of you who don't know, I know you talk about Duncan a lot on the show. Duncan, originally a Massachusetts, a Boston-based company. So there's a real pride in Duncan in Massachusetts. So my dad's so proud. Every time I talked to him over the last year and a half or whatever, I heard it again. I heard, you know what? I was watching the game and I heard it. They were playing, he
That's
was
awesome.
so dialed in. It was adorable. I loved it. I
love it.
Couldn't have been more excited to be the voice of Duncan.
Do
The
you-
best.
Do you have are there elements of the Dunkin' menu that you can enjoy given your
Donuts
restrictions?
are actually
pretty, okay.
Yeah, donuts are usually pretty safe.
Wow.
Unless they are fancy.
Oh, okay. Or if
they
they're maybe
fall into
filled
that
sometimes.
category. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They
Got
fall
it.
into that category similar to ice cream.
Right.
Like I can't eat what most people think of as like fancy good ice cream, custard based,
Sure.
all those kind of ice creams. But I can eat like cheap kind of ice cream. And not that Dunkin' is cheap by any means, but a Dunkin' donut I can eat versus like a fancy, like whatever you did
A
with
sidecar
David.
donut, yeah.
Like whatever you did with
yeah.
David Wayne. That sounded to me like donuts I probably cannot eat.
Plus a plethora of drinks, of cold drinks.
Always.
hot
I'm
drinks.
I'm Dunkin' through and through. In terms of like drive-through coffee or grabbing a coffee, it's Dunkin' over everything for me.
Same.
Dunkin' over Starbucks, over Pete's, over Coffee Bean, all of it. Dunkin'.
I definitely like it more
Coffee
than the
Bean
fancy
is my
coffee
number.
places.
Is probably
yeah.
my number 2. I like Coffee Bean after Dunkin'.
Coffee Bean's good.
Coffee Bean's
I
pretty
like
good.
I like McDonald's coffee.
Yeah.
McDonald's coffee's pretty good.
Yeah, all that stuff falls into the same category. I just will take Dunkin' over it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was
agree.
doing a Boston accent in an improv show the other day, and it was bad. I was doing like a bad.
because you don't do it?
I
You were pushing it?
I was like pushing it, and I was like, I'm doing like a bad job with it. But for the Frasier one, I stepped it up a little bit. But I also don't. I'm not gonna like. You're incorrigible, Frasier. What the fuck am I gonna do on Frasier?
Well, you're not gonna be the cast as that guy, though.
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
you're being
Yeah.
cast as what, a Harvard professor?
Why not? As an actor, you can do anything. That's
I
the-
love that you just were like, oh, I can't do Frasier. You're incorrigible, Frasier.
I'm Mike Mitchell,
When in reality,
reading for MIT astrophysicist.
yeah, when in reality, you're gonna be like, Frasier, I just clogged your toilet with a giant shit. Frasier. What do you think? You're better than me, Frasier?
pretty much Peter Griffin come to life would be me.
I've heard you in your when you're talking with the Boston crew that you'll code switch, and it'll happen to you with talking with your mom and with Courtney as well. Does that happen to you? Do you code switch a little bit?
This is like Mark Wahlberg in The Departed, where he's like, I bet you talk with different accents, don't you? You're like, you're pulling that shit on me right now.
I'm not saying you're inauthentic. I'm saying it's just like it's a natural thing of what happens when you're.
I think
it's not even
you are an
conscious.
authentic person, Mitch. I think when you're back in Boston, you're fake. So
it's because of the Thayer thing. I had a.
Oh yeah, you're out here saying like I'm Quincy strong, blah blah blah. You're a Thayer boy.
That's not.
Where's your blazer, Mitch?
It was only on Mondays we had to wear blazers.
Oh, we had to wear a blazer.
Wow.
The blazer with the crest is available on kinship.com or birdfuck.com to get the Doughboys blazer.
It was only in Braintree. It wasn't even that far away.
Braintree.
It wasn't that far.
By the mall?
Not far from the mall. Closer to the Best Buy in Braintree.
Okay, fair enough.
I also thought, I told you this, with my CPAP machine, I thought that the oxygen was going to make me smarter. I thought there was going to be I thought it was going to be a little bit like Flowers for Algernon.
It would be amazing if the CPAP machine did like open up your brain in a way that you suddenly had more access to stuff. That would be crazy.
That's what I was hoping for. I've only done 2 nights with it so far.
Oh.
But 60 events, I told you this before, 60 events to last night, 0.5 events.
That's great.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Enormous
well done.
improvement.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Because that's a significant difference.
Yeah. No,
and to answer your question, Weiger, I didn't grow up. My family doesn't have strong Boston accents. I think probably because they are immigrants. My dad, born in Greece, came here, so his parents spoke Greek, and so he didn't grow up with a strong Boston accent. My mom doesn't have a strong Boston accent, so I didn't grow up with one. So I can have
you speak Greek?
A little bit.
Yeah.
When I was younger, much more, but less so now.
Cool.
Because I had grandparents who pretty much only spoke Greek, and so while they were alive, I kept up a little bit better. But since they've passed, not at all.
Can you attempt why so serious in Greek?
I could not even. That's a great. I can't even do that anymore.
Oh, yeah,
heartbreakingly. But Wags is on it.
Well,
but so I have like a soft Boston accent, and I especially have a lot of the pronunciation stuff that Mitch has. Popcorn, hot dog, mum, all the kind of Irish affectations that have permeated the Boston accent.
Yeah.
Especially the North Shore kind of, my area very much has that vibe.
I got in trouble because I make fun of Connecticut a lot. There's people who like that's New England. I'm like, fuck
you
Connecticut.
Get in trouble?
Well, there's like,
are you kidding? Fuck you, Connecticut. Oh, you're so fancy. Okay, Connecticut.
That's the issue. Connecticut's fancy.
Oh, yeah. You would drive up here in your fucking BMW, Connecticut. Just kidding. How did this get made? In New Haven, Connecticut.
Oh, shit.
October 20th. Tickets available now. Buy them.
By the way, I mean, look, there's a lot of great stuff in Connecticut.
Can you try some of that pizza out there?
We'll get a Sally's a pizza.
Wow.
Have you had Sally's
a pizza? I've only had the other one.
Frank Pepe's.
Frank Pepe's. I've had Frank Pepe's a couple of times. I've never had Sally's a pizza, but I will this time.
I feel like locals really love modern too, but I thought Sally's I put up there with original Regina in Boston, which I think is good again. Dano said they were slipping for a while. I think
I haven't been to Pizzeria Regina in 1,000 years.
Oh man,
does Papagino's still exist?
Papagino's still exists. Ryder gave it 2 4 score by the first time.
I will go to Boston the next time you guys are doing if you want me. I will go to Boston to do a Boston chain, whatever it is.
Wow.
With you the next time you are in Boston.
This is huge for
What
us.
an invitation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mostly because I want to hang out with the Quincy crew.
You would have a blast with it.
Mostly, I want to talk to Frailbot. I want to talk to Dano. I want to talk to the Tufos.
You've named all the right people. You named all the right people. I would love for you to meet all of them.
Talk to Ramandi, talk to Scoop.
Yes, Scoop.
Have a great time.
Wu-Tang.
You want to talk to Scoop early because if he has a few drinks.
I want to talk to Drunk Scoop.
Here's the thing. If you talk to Drunk Scoop, you won't understand a word he says.
Yes,
Weiger
100%,
knows this.
yeah.
He's going to be like, blah, 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 and you'll be like, I have no idea
He
what the
turns
fuck.
into a teacher from Peanuts.
Wags, you saw it. It's
100%.
like, you can't understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
That would be an honor. We would love to have you.
You just say the word and don't be like, we didn't think you really meant it. I'm saying now, Emma, you hear me.
I got you.
I'm saying it.
One more tour, Wags.
And I know that's stepping on Hodgman's feet. I will come, which is my camera. I will come for you, John. I will come for you, John Hodgman. How dare you?
We owe him a Connecticut. We owe him a where is Sally's and everything? It's in
New Haven.
New Haven, yeah.
Yep.
We owe him a New Haven trip. Anyway.
I will happily share a show with John Hodgman. I'm certain his books are available in paperback right now. Vacation Land, get involved. One of our greats, but I will destroy you, John Hodgman.
Sorry, Hodgman. That would be an honor. We would love. Look at this
You've
guy.
already done Kelly's. I'm trying to think of what's a good.
There's still there's.
Yeah, I said it. Papagino's. Is there?
there's
Does Papagino's still
We
exist?
did Papagino's, but I feel like that we didn't get
Did you do
Papagino's.
Bertucci's?
I think we didn't
We
Papagino's.
did do Bertucci's, and Bertucci's had slid.
Bertucci's is bad now.
Bertucci's isn't great.
Bertucci slid.
Let me say this. I don't think we did Papagino's proper because of the nature
That's
of the show.
100%
It
right.
is Hodgman related because we had to go to a rural.
And Hodgman was mean to it too. I'm pissed off about all this.
We had to go to
stuff.
a rural Papagino's in the city where this whatever the band
Wilco's
was.
Festival
Wilco's
was-
Festival was playing.
It was Western Mass.
Yeah, and it was
sure.
not like a well-trafficked
Okay, got it.
Papagino's. I don't feel like I got the authentic experience.
I thought
D'Angelo, I loved. I had a
Yep.
great time at
Great.
D'Angelo.
Great. Are there any like Boston chains
There's a
that are
huge one we haven't
outstanding?
done.
Which?
We haven't done legal seafood.
Oh, done. I'll do that all
Wow.
day, every day.
Wow.
Legal seafood.
Oh, that's
the
a
big
great one too.
That's the big one.
Oh,
Never
I'm
had
shocked you haven't done that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to every episode of this dumb show, so I can't believe I don't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, great. I'm in 100%.
I was pitching it for the last time, and then we were getting into Boston the day of the show, and there was a Tasty Burger at the train station, and Wise was like, "We should do Tasty," and I was like, had been too annoying.
Tasty Burger
pushing-
was the people's choice.
I
People
know,
wanted
I
us to do
know, I
Tasty
know,
Burger.
I know,
Don't
I
put it all on
know.
my shoulders.
I
Seemed
know.
like I will say it seemed like the audience not happy you did Tasty Burger.
Yeah, I to me, whatever.
I've never been to
The
a Tasty
audience,
Burger.
the audience wasn't happy with the show in general.
Yeah, it was a bad
Oh, really?
show. That was the issue.
Oh, I didn't think so.
Weiger
God
was
bless you.
tuckered out by the time we got there, and
Aw.
so was I. I should just say Weiger was tuckered out. You fucked the show up. Anyways, let's keep going.
It wasn't me.
Fucked it up.
No,
Fucking
I-
chaotic.
no,
fucking Joker ass. fucking sleepy Joker. Joker.
I carried that show. Put that show on my back like Atlas, fighting them
And
away.
shrug.
Why
Our
so?
guests carried the show. That is the truth.
That is absolutely
Who
true.
was it? Carl and
was-
Gabris?
It was no. It
we
was
had
different
we had
one.
Zach Cherry and we had
Zach Cherry,
Hanford,
Hanford,
and
and
then we
Mookie.
had
It was a good- they were
Mookie
all
came out and
really
did a
funny.
character.
we sucked.
Here's that we were bad. Here's the thing.
Mookie's got, I said this yesterday, got a great Boston accent.
Oh, he does a great.
when he
Boston
did it, I was like, wow.
Why so serious? This is Google Translate.
I think
So
he hates people with. I think he's imitating what he hates.
Oh, of course.
why so serious on Google Translate? And you know, I can't read Greece, but they have the phonetic pronunciation underneath it.
Gatti Toro. Oof. I don't know. Hivathos? Oh wait, what does this say?
That's the phonetic.
Suvacos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
tough. I don't know.
Giatti Toso Sovaros.
Fuck, the lights just went off. In here. God damn it. What the hell's going on?
We still got to do a question. Just like
What's
a
all this
restaurant.
green flames? Weiger's a night sister? God damn it. Dathomirian magic? I was last on to talk about Rebels. Ahsoka on right now. Love it.
Wow.
Oh wow. He's.
I've got notes, but I still love it.
Because he's taken. That's his. What's his name?
Yeah, that's Dave Filoni's.
Filoni. Yeah.
Filoni's character, Filoni's show. I'm enjoying it.
Just like a restaurant about your feedback, let's open to the feedback. And today we have an email from Terry MCE. Terry writes, did you have any irrational food fears as a kid that seems silly looking back? For instance, my dad once told my little brother that after he ate a whole shrimp tail on, that eating shrimp tails would make him grow a tail. We all believed it for years.
Oh my
Thanks
god.
to the laughs, Terry McGee from the Dough Scored, who did not die or throw up at the hot wing contest. This was Mitch. Remember this past,
Oh, yeah.
this past letter from the...
I saw
the-
him. I think
You
I
saw
saw him
him.
somewhere.
You
yeah.
saw Terry IRL.
Yeah.
Wow. Apparently survived the hot wing
Where did I
contest.
see
safe
him?
and
We
sound.
talked, or at least I saw him. I don't know. I think we ran into each other. I think the bubblegum one is the big one for me.
What's that?
You swallow a piece of bubblegum, it's not going to digest for years.
Oh, it stays in your stomach for like 7 years or whatever. Yeah. Okay. I have heard that one. I wasn't actually scared of it, but I heard of it.
Same. Yeah. I don't know that I really feared it, but yes, I believed that I probably would still parrot that.
Yes.
Out, I don't think I had any real fears. I mean,
this is
I had a totemic fear of
Right.
eggs. So
Yes.
Right.
anything else was like, oh, my fears were all not like this though, like of a thing that turned out to not be real. Like the tails thing.
I once had a really disgusting dream that put me off of two foods for a while. One was that I was eating tuna salad and a glass of milk in the dream. But the tuna salad had little balls in it that when I pierced them with a fork, they were filled with spiders.
Oh my God.
And then the glass of milk just had a turd in it. And so anytime, like for like years after that, I was like,
This was a wet dream?
for years after that, just like any like tuna salad grossed me out, and like milk, which I drank all the time, I was always like a little off put by.
I have a story that is actually true.
Yeah.
That is disgusting, which was we were sitting at the cafeteria table in high school, and it must have been past Halloween, maybe 6 months past Halloween. Anyway, a girl at the table, a couple seats down from me, had a singular Reese's cup, like a Halloween one single Reese's cup in her lunch.
Oh, no.
And we're all blah, 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 chat. And she, I'm not really noticing, but opens up her Reese's cup, cracks it like this, and then screams at the top of her lungs. And when we all looked, the Reese's cup was full of maggots.
Oh my
like
God.
truly full of it was bad. It had gone real bad.
Oh, that's
and
awful.
It freaked everybody out. And we talked about that maggot Reese's cup for months.
Yeah, that's fucking awful.
Because it turned out it had been old Halloween
yeah, sure.
candy.
Yeah. Fuck,
Dear
I hate that.
Lord.
Yeah. Disgusting.
That is
nasty.
horrifying. Tuna fish was my aunt.
But it was hot. It was sexy.
Gonna have a wet dream about
That's
it.
how fetishes are born.
Mamie, my grandma's sister, she smoked all the time. She had a dog named Mike, and she got ash in my tuna sandwich, and I threw up,
Oh,
and I
God,
forever
that is gross.
ruined tuna for me.
Yeah, that's
until
nasty.
years later,
Right.
And I used to love it too, and now
You used to love ash?
I used to
But
love
when
ash.
you combined it in that tuna sandwich.
Yeah,
you're not good.
don't put
Oh,
tuna
wow.
in there.
I'm just imagining like her making you a sandwich with a big ashy cigarette
Yeah.
just dangling out of her mouth and it just falling and her being like, well.
Yeah, and me being like a 4-year-old kid in her
Oh, God.
secondhand smokehouse. Like the
Ugh.
curtains were yellow. Like,
Yeah.
I loved her. She was a great lady. She's a funny lady.
You know what I'm to this question is making me think of, which was a thing that was probably irrational, but it was based in like a warning that you get all the time, being around water all the time, being in pools all the time as a kid, is like, if you swim within 30 minutes of eating, you are going to drown.
That's a big
Yes.
one.
And
I was like,
cramp up
I was
and-
terrified of that.
Yeah.
I was certain
I thought
I
it
would
was
die.
That's a good one, actually.
I thought you were gonna throw up. And
Oh, we always heard that you would like cramp up and drown.
Cramp
yeah.
up and drown was
okay.
the one I heard, yeah. But I could hear it. I could see it getting passed around that way, too.
It's probably that. They just didn't want kids to throw up in the pool, but they came up with something scarier so they'd be afraid of it.
I think it is so much the fact that like you're just a kid is gonna be so crazy and then like might throw up because they're just like
Yeah.
Right.
an accidental throw up. I think eating seeds, like if you ate some seeds, I think there was like some
Was that they'd like grow
that
inside
they
of
would
you?
grow
Yep.
inside of you, or even if you pooped them out, they'd grow or something.
That thing that you were saying about bubblegum, I have heard about other things too. Like it takes you weeks to fully digest a bagel. And I was like, no, because
Yeah.
it's boiled. It's
Right.
harder to digest or whatever. And stuff like that, I always was like, oh, that's crazy. And I can't imagine that stuff is actually true like that.
Yeah. I can't think of anyone else that's like really scary. Well, I probably
Do you
like
think you guys will do colonoscopies on the show?
It's a good question. We're gonna hit the age when we need them.
Because it's
Pretty
coming
soon.
up.
Yeah,
quick.
it's coming up. Yeah.
I remember my first one back in the day when
Right, because you got one when you're younger because you had a lot of GI tract problems.
I had GI tract problems. I went to the doctor, and I remember I was in there with my dad, and he was like, "I'm gonna like check out your prostate."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Is this where you do the finger?" And he's
Mhm.
like, "Uh huh." And my dad was laughing at me. And then I told him the dad joke that he had where they were
Your dad did or the doctor?
my dad laughed. Well, my dad didn't put his finger in my ass.
No, who had the dad joke? Your dad or the doctor?
my dad did. Yeah.
Got it.
But when my dad was in there too, he seemed to really come to these events. And they put
I don't know if come to these events is exactly the phraseology you want, but okay.
He was at the one where the camera went up.
Can I get a video of this session? Or?
He made a joke in the room when I was awake seeing a camera go up my, on my GI tract. That was, and I was seeing little turds in there. It was funny. And my dad, I've said this before, but my dad was like, I always said he was full of shit.
Yeah, it was
everyone laughed.
Solid joke.
It was a good moment.
Yeah.
But I think that we should probably do them on that. Right?
You absolutely should.
We should make it into content.
We were gonna do a testosterone test, and we never did it.
We never got
That's
around
a double
to
right there.
Yeah, we should do the low T test.
Yeah.
How low can you
How
go?
about this? It's a high T, low T, iced tea. That's
pretty
the
good.
episode.
That's good.
good.
Yeah.
It's just tea.
Yeah.
And the listener who has the lowest T, we send them like a picture of iced tea or something. I think that's
The listener? Wait, listeners have to measure their T2? T2? Wait a minute.
If you have a question or comment about the world of chain restaurants, you can email us at doughboyspodcast@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 830-GO-TO. That's 830-463-6844. And you can get the Doughboys Double, our weekly bonus episode, by joining the Golden or Platinum Play Club at patreon.com/doughboys, where Shockdoughbooerdeath 2023 continues all Shockdoughbooer long. So check that out over at the Doughboys. Did we come up with a double name? We did. The Doughboys Double Homicide.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out, the Doughboys Double Homicide. Jason Mantzoukas, just an absolute treat to have you in studio. Anytime you want to come on, you are welcome to join us.
I would love to.
We'll
I
love
had
having
an
you.
absolute blast. Thank you for lunch yesterday, and thanks for the hang.
Oh my
what
God.
a great time.
What a hoot. Anything-
Again, I could not love this show more. I adore you
We
both.
love you guys. Well, we love you.
Truly a joy to be here. And I mean it. I'll come to any other show you guys want. I'd love to. And I think you were about to ask me if I want to plug anything.
Yeah.
We're not really plugging stuff right now, but here's what I will plug. I will plug the How Did This Get Made podcast, which I do with Paul Scheer and June Diane Raphael. Most specifically, if you are in New England, we're on tour. It's going to be Portland, Maine, Providence, Rhode Island, New Haven, Connecticut, and Brooklyn, New York, baby. Middle October. So get those tickets. Come and see a live podcast.
One of the greatest
100%.
of all podcasts and three of the funniest of people. So yeah, that'd
How
be
long
great.
have you been doing this podcast?
We've been doing it going
Almost
on
8
8
years
years.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for
13.
13. That's wild.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
We thought we were late.
We thought we
the
were late to the
podcast
game,
world.
and new ones still
Time
keep
is
coming out.
moving impossibly fast.
Isn't that
It's crazy.
strange?
It's
in a way
scary.
that I find unnerving.
Yeah. Once again, we return to our roast observation. What's scarier than the passage of time?
Nothing.
The devil's chicken.
That'll do it for this episode of Doughboys. Until next time for the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell, I'm Nick Weicker. Happy eating.
See ya.
Eat shit.
Want Doughboys merch? Check out our partners at Kinship Goods. Get our new Shockdoughbooerdeath design, plus our now famous 5-4 cat and our Golden Plate Club shirt, and many other high-quality Doughboys tees, totes, hats, aprons, and more. Check out doughboys.kinshipgoods.com. That's doughboys.kinshipgoods.com. Sources for the intro are in the episode description.
That was a Headgum podcast.